Chapter 897. Mu Chunfang and Qin Dehai nodded. Qin Yuan was still unwilling to give up and glanced in the direction of Zhao Xinhui's room. He thought to himself, why hasn't Zhao Xinhui come out for so long? Even if I can't talk to Zhao Xinhui, it's good enough to just take a look at her. It was a pity that Zhao Xinhui didn't come out. Thinking that he might not be able to see Zhao Xinhui today, Qin Yuan felt a wave of disappointment in his heart. Qin Yuan saw Zhao Ping, sticking close to him and tugging on his sleeve. He said to Zhao Ping, unhappily, Zhao Ping, stay away from me. Why are you sticking so close to me? Don't you know that men and women shouldn't touch each other? Zhao Ping, saw the disgust in Qin Yuan's eyes, and a trace of sadness flashed across her heart. She pouted in grievance and said to Qin Yuan, Brother Yuan, this is nothing. We're going to be husband and wife in the future. Qin Yuan's face continued to darken. He said to Zhao Ping, angrily, Woman, you know that we're going to be husband and wife in the future. Since we're not now, then you have to stay away from us. Zhao Ping, felt very wronged and responded with a sound of acknowledgement. She didn't dare to make Qin Yuan angry at all. It was almost time to get married, and she couldn't afford to make any mistakes at this time. The Qin family went into the room, and Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao went to the kitchen to cook. When they started to cook, old Madame Li came back unsteadily. Li Chuiying saw old Madame Li and hurriedly went forward to ask, Mother, why are you here? Old Madame Li snorted softly and said, I'm here to talk to you about something. Mother, why are you looking for me? Li Chuiying couldn't help but ask again. Old Madame Li waved her hand and said, Let's not talk about this now. I can't even straighten my back. Hurry up and bring out a chair for me to sit on. Li Chuiying hurriedly asked when he saw old Madame Li crying out in pain. Mother, what are you doing? How did it become like this? Old Madame Li snorted softly. Isn't it because of that good niece of yours? That kick almost crippled me. How could she treat an old person like that? That's too much. Ingzi, tell me, how can there be such a person in this world? Li Chuiying thought about it. She only had a few nieces, and the only one her mother mentioned was Zhao Yuner. Only Zhao Yuner could be so heavy-handed. Li Chuiying asked carefully, Mom, what's going on? Tell me slowly, I'm listening. Old Lady Li cried out a few times, then told Li Chuiying everything in detail. After hearing what Li Chuiying said, Liang Jinxiao almost spat fire. Zhao Yuner, that B*TCH, had gone too far. She was her mother after all. How could she be so heavy-handed? Didn't she care about her second aunt? Well, this was too much. As the saying goes, even if you want to hit someone, you still have to look at the owner. Zhao Yuner obviously didn't care about her. Li Chuiying said to old Madame Li, Mother, let's talk to her. Old Madame Li had the same idea, so she nodded in agreement. Okay, that's fine. We can't take this lying down. As the mother and son spoke, they looked aggressive, as if they were going to get back at them today. Li Chuiying shouted in the direction of Zhao Yuner's kitchen. Zhao Yuner, tell me, why did you kick my mother? My mother's butt was broken by you. Chapter 898. Zhao Yuner continued to cut the vegetables calmly, as if nothing had happened. Zhao Yuner comforted her mother calmly, Mom, what are you afraid of? Liang Jinxiao sighed, Yuner, your second aunt is difficult to deal with. Zhao Yuner smiled and said to Liang Jinxiao, Mom, it's not like we haven't dealt with my second aunt before. Why should we be afraid of her? Liang Jinxiao knew that Zhao Yuner must have thought of a way to deal with Li Chuiying when she was hungry. She thought that she shouldn't worry about it. Yuner had never suffered any losses. Zhao Yuner cut the potato into shreds, and after cutting it, she slowly walked out. Li Chuiying was already cursing in anger. She thought that Zhao Yuner didn't want to come out, so she directly rushed in. Fortunately, Zhao Yuner came out in the end. Li Chuiying came to Zhao Yuner aggressively and questioned Zhao Yuner, how can you be so cruel at such a young age? How can you do this to an old woman like my mother? After talking to Zhao Yuner, Li Chuiying turned to Liang Jinxiao and whispered in Liang Jinxiao's ear, "Sister-in-law, you know about this too, don't you? You know very well what your girl did, so I won't say it. Do you think it's okay for Yuner to be like this? Shouldn't you give me an explanation? Don't say that I bullied her. You're too unreasonable this time." Facing Li Chuiying's aggressive face, Zhao Yuner felt it was very funny. "Second aunt, what are you talking about? What's wrong with your mother? You little bitch, don't you want to admit it? Don't tell me you didn't do anything to my mother." Li Chuiying suddenly became anxious and couldn't help but scold Zhao Yuner. "Second aunt, please mind your words. Don't call me little bitch. Don't blame me if Shitzi comes over and tears your mouth apart." Zhao Yuner warned her coldly. Li Chuiying was frightened by Zhao Yuner's words. She was naturally afraid when Mu Lianfeng was mentioned. But she couldn't do whatever she wanted just because of Mu Lianfeng. Zhao Yuner, this little bitch, was bullying people like this. If she didn't reason it out, wouldn't she secretly suffer this loss? Li Chuiying was silent for a while before saying, "Her girl, don't always use the air to scare people. Even if the emperor breaks the law, he will be punished the same as the commoners. What's wrong with asking for an explanation when you bullied others? Isn't it your fault to bully others?" Zhao Yun hooked up the corner of her mouth and said, "Second aunt, you have to ask mother about this. I kindly brought her back, but she was still nagging and talking non-stop. My kindness was treated as ill intent and was eaten by others. I asked her to get out of the car, but she refused, so I could only kick her out." After Zhao Yuner finished speaking, Li Chuiying's face immediately darkened. This little b*tch, kicking people is just kicking people. She actually came up with so many reasons. You're twisting words and forcing logic. Who's twisting words and forcing logic? Second aunt, if you're not convinced, you can go to the government and sue me. Anyway, I won't give you an explanation. Zhao Yuner's arrogant attitude was to see what Li Chuiying could do to her. Li Chuiying gnashed her teeth in anger. Zhao Yuner, this little bitch. If she went to the government and sued her, what would the result be? Chapter 899. Li Chuiying took a few deep breaths. Wasn't this too much? Wasn't this too much? Looking at Zhao Yuner's complacent expression, Li Chuiying wanted to rush forward and tear Zhao Yuner's face apart. Mrs. Li was also very angry. She instigated Li Chuiying, "Ingzi, why are you arguing with her? I think it's better to just go over and give her a few tight slaps." "Mother." Li Chuiying looked at Mrs. Li with a bitter face. If she could slap her several times, she would have done so long ago. Seeing Li Chuiying in a daze without any reaction, Mrs. Li asked, "What's wrong? Ingzi, you're already an adult. You can't even beat a little girl, right?" "Mother, it's not that I can't beat her. I can't beat her." Mrs. Li was puzzled. "Why can't you beat her? Could it be that she's someone important?" "Mother, forget it. Let's go. I'll tell you slowly." Li Chuiying tugged at old Madame Li as she spoke. When Mrs. Li heard that Zhao Yuner was Prince Shitzi's woman, she scolded Li Chuiying. "Why didn't you tell me earlier if she's Prince Shitzi's woman? Is your head filled with *t? Don't you want to live? How dare you mess with Prince Shitzi's woman?" Li Chuiying pouted and said with grievance, "Mother, I'm going to argue with you. I can't let you suffer, right?" Mrs. Li snorted and poked Li Chuiying's forehead. She continued to scold Li Chuiying, I said your head was filled with sh*t. You're really filled with sh*t. If it's someone else, you can argue with her. But she's Prince Sheetsy's woman. Why the hell are you arguing with her? If you can't argue with her, I'll lose my life because of you. You're so stupid. Li Chuiying felt very uncomfortable when he heard that. She was trying to help her mother out of kindness, but she ended up being ridiculed like this. Mother, how can you say that about me? Old Madam Li continued to snort coldly. Why would I say that about you? I didn't hit you, so there's no mistake. He's one of the Crown Prince's men. You're so stupid. Why did you offend him? Don't you know how to please others? If anything happens in the future, you can still ask the Crown Prince for help. After all this trouble, it's already good that he didn't find trouble with you. Old Madam Li Chuiying scolded and glared at Li Chuiying as if she expected better from her. She continued, why did I raise such a silly daughter? It was no wonder that old Zhao still didn't like me after marrying him for so many years. Do you think your parents-in-law would like such a pig brain? When Li Chuiying heard old Madam Li say that about her, she began to doubt her life. Was she really that bad? If old Madam Li wasn't her mother, she probably would have fought with her. No one had ever scolded her like that in her whole life. Old Madam Li was a little tired of scolding. She glared at Li Chuiying and said to Li Chuiying, all right, I won't scold you anymore. You're so stupid. The more you scold Li Chuiying, the angrier I get. Mother. Li Chuiying still wanted to say something, but she was interrupted by old Madam Li. Go and get me a glass of water. I'm thirsty. Li Chuiying could only answer, oh, mother, I'll get you a glass of water. Go. Old Madam Li waved her hand impatiently. Zhao Yuner and Li Chuiying finished arguing, then turned back and went back to the kitchen to cook. Chapter 900. When the meal was almost ready, the men who had gone to work came back. Zhao Wenhua helped to take care of the Qin family. Zhao Wenhua was also very worried about Zhao Ping's marriage. He had been waiting for the Qin family to send the betrothal gifts, but after waiting for a long time, there was still no sign of them. He thought that the Qin family had given up on the marriage. If they had come a few days later, Zhao Wenhua felt that he would not have been able to control his temper and would have gone to the family Qin to ask if they did not want Ping anymore. He did not expect that the family Qin people would finally come today. His originally anxious heart finally calmed down. As long as the family Qin people came, everything would be fine. Once this marriage was set, his Ping would truly be married off. Zhao Wenhua was very polite and warm to Mu Chunfang and Qin Dahai. Hurry up and sit, don't just stand there. Zhao Wenhua saw that Mu Chunfang and Qin Dahai were standing and could not help but say this. Qin Dahai chuckled and replied. Sit, don't be so polite. Qin Dahai said. The men at the dining table looked at the Qin family curiously. Zhao Wenhua introduced them and said that the Qin family was their future in-laws. Su Yukai and Guo Guizhen both greeted them warmly. Liang Jinxing and Liang Jinhui saw the Qin family's tattered clothes and knew that the family Qin was not well-to-do. They were poor, so they did not really like the in-laws. When the in-laws greeted them, they only gave a slight response. So this is Ping's future in-laws. Yang Jinshun stared at the Qin couple and sized them up. The disdain in his heart grew stronger. He did not know if his brother and sister-in-law's brains were damaged. Why did they marry into such a family Qin? Did they not know that if they married into a poor family, they would only be a burden? She then looked at Qin Yuan. This child was not bad. He was good-looking, but he gave people the feeling that he was a pretty boy. At first glance, she could tell that he would not have any future prospects. Following such a person was just waiting for a lifetime of suffering. Seeing that Liang Jinhui and Liang Jinshen didn't look happy, the family Qin people felt awkward. They thought that they had done something to make Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui unhappy. Therefore, she hurriedly poked Qin Yuan and whispered into Qin Yuan's ear, "Child, why are you still in a daze? Hurry up and greet your eldest uncle and second uncle." Although Qin Yuan wasn't happy, under the Qin couple's constant signals, he walked up to Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui and called out, "Eldest uncle, second uncle." Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui responded faintly. Zhao Ping was immediately unhappy. She asked Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui, "Eldest uncle, second uncle, big brother Yuan is talking to you. Why are you ignoring him?" Zhao Ping's angry look seemed to be criticizing Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui for having such an attitude. Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinqiao coughed awkwardly. "We did. Why didn't we respond? Didn't we respond? But you didn't say anything." "Little Ping, then what do you think we should talk about? Isn't there nothing much to say?" Zhao Ping pursed her lips. She still looked unhappy. Her eldest uncle and second uncle had made her speechless, but she was not satisfied. Chapter 901. Ping, little girl, you're wrong to say that. Your second uncle and I are also guests. Furthermore, how can they be as passionate as us elders? Shouldn't it be the younger generation being more passionate towards the elders? Liang Jinshen said. Zhao Wenhua saw that his daughter was about to make a fool of herself again and hurriedly interrupted. "All right, Ping, girl, what are you talking about?" "Father." Zhao Ping looked at Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui angrily. "What first uncle and second uncle?" Her behavior made her big brother Yuan unhappy and she didn't know what to do. She hoped that Qin Yuan and Qin Yuan's parents wouldn't have anything in their hearts and wouldn't blame her. She didn't want this marriage to fall through and she wouldn't be able to get married. Liang Jinshen and Liang Jinhui snorted coldly in their hearts. He was just a poor man. How passionate did he want them to be? What was the use of being passionate? It couldn't be eaten. They were already being polite if they didn't jump out and mock him. The Qin couple sat down awkwardly towards Zhao Wenxing and Zhao Wenhui's cold attitude. This feeling of being disliked was very uncomfortable. However, this wasn't the first time they had experienced such a situation. Because their family was poor, they had been scolded many times over the years. They often went to their relatives' houses, and they all had this kind of attitude. Qin Yuan clenched his fists. He knew that Liang Jinxing and Liang Jinhui looked down on him. It didn't matter. So what if they looked down on him? When he was successful in the future and could earn money, he would definitely let these people who looked down on him know how wrong it was for them to look down on him back then. Of course, when that time came, they could only regret looking down on him back then. "Big brother Yuan, don't be angry. Sit down." Zhao Ping pulled Qin Yuan. When she saw Qin Yuan's unhappy expression, she became abnormally nervous. Qin Yuan responded faintly. It was useless to be angry now. Looking down on him was still looking down on him. He could only use the facts in the future to prove it. However, when that day really came, it would be impossible for him to be together with this idiot Zhao Ping. If he had the money, he would go directly to Zhao Xinhui and marry such a beautiful woman like Zhao Xinhui. Moreover, Zhao Xinhui had promised him that as long as he had the money, he would be willing. With this thought in mind, Qin Yuan was suddenly filled with fighting spirit. He had to be somebody. Not only did he want others to look down on him, but more importantly, he wanted to marry Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Yuner and Liang Jinqiao quickly sat down to eat. Dishes were served one after another, beckoning everyone in the room to eat. This afternoon, Mu Lianfeng did not return. He was busy making a new batch of weapons. Zhao Yun's method was really feasible. Mu Lianfeng wanted to see what kind of effect a weapon made of steel would have. Moreover, after the experiment, he still couldn't rest. He had to rush these weapons to the capital and send them to the emperor to see. After letting the emperor take a look, he could then determine whether this kind of weapon was qualified or not and whether it could be used on the battlefield. Zhao Yun specially left some food for Mu Lianfeng. After the meal, she would go up the mountain and send it to Mu Lianfeng. Anyway, it wouldn't take much effort. Smelling the aroma of the food, the few people in the room couldn't hold back and prepared to eat. For the few men who went to work, lunch was undoubtedly their happiest moment. After working for half a day, their stomachs were already growling from hunger. Chapter 902. Usually, when they were at home, it was impossible to add 2 drops of oil to the dishes, let alone meat. Making a trip to Zhao Yun's house was equivalent to going to a restaurant. When it was time to eat, Qin Yuan's mood was quite good. Other than facing that idiot Zhao Ping, he felt that everything was fine. "Come, let's eat," Zhao Wenhua called out. The Qin family did not stand on ceremony and started eating. At the dining table, when Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui saw that the in-laws' family was wolfing down the food, they mocked them even more in their hearts. Poor people would always be poor. They were not presentable. One could tell just by looking at the way they ate. However, since it was not their own family, other than disdaining the Qin family, Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui could not say anything else. At the dining table, when the Qin couple heard that Zhao Yun's family was building a house and even hired workers, they instantly had an idea. Mu Chunfang thought that working for Zhao Yun's family would not only pay them a salary every day, but they could also eat so much good food for lunch. Thinking about it, it was really not bad. If they ate like this every day, not only would they be able to earn a lot of money from this work, they would also be able to nourish their bodies. If they could eat such good food every day, their bodies would definitely be much stronger. Thus, Mu Chunfang could not help but say to Zhao Wenhua, "In-law, why didn't you ask my family to help you build a house? Yuan and Yuan's father can come over and help with the work." Zhao Wenhua smiled and said, "In-law, I appreciate your kindness, but your family definitely has work to do in the fields and is also busy. It wouldn't be good to ask you to come over." Mu Chunfang waved his hand and said, "Yuan's father can do the work at home. I can also help out. As for my family's Yuan, let him come if he can. In any case, he has nothing to do at home. It's good for him to come and help out." Zhao Wenhua was too embarrassed to ask the family Qin people for help, so he said to Mu Chunfang, "Forget it. If Yuan has nothing to do, just rest at home." Mu Chunfang insisted, "In-law, just let Yuan come. If Yuan comes, not only can he help with the work, he can also spend more time with Ping. When the two of them get married, their relationship will definitely be better." When Mu Chunfang said this, he was a little tempted. At the same time, he was a little embarrassed to refuse. "Father, just let big brother Yuan come over and help," Zhao Ping hurriedly said to Zhao Wenhua. After hearing Mu Chunfang's words, he felt excited for the time being. If Qin Yuan could come over and help with the work, she could see Qin Yuan every day. How happy would that be? Zhao Ping felt a little excited just thinking about it. Hence, Zhao Wenhua nodded and said, "All right then, let Yuan come over." "It's just that it will be a little tiring." Zhao Wenhua looked at Qin Yuan's body and wondered if Qin Yuan could do much work. Mu Chunfang said with a smile, "It's fine. My family's Yuan is not afraid of hard work. He always fights to do the work at home. He also does the farm work quite well." Zhao Wenhua nodded and felt that he could not underestimate Qin Yuan. This child had also worked since he was young. Naturally, he could not be too bad. He might even do better than the average person if they let him go over. This was the so-called, you can't judge a book by its cover. Chapter 903. Since he had agreed to help his family, he naturally had to praise him. Zhao Yun listened from the side and was very curious in her heart. When did the Qin family become so diligent? They were so good that they were actually willing to let Qin Yuan come over to help her family with their work. However, Mu Chunfang's next few words almost made Zhao Yun vomit blood. Mu Chunfang said, "My in-law, Mei Yuan, is helping out. You can just give him the same salary as the others. You don't have to give him more." When Mu Chunfang said, others, he was referring to her eldest and second uncles, Su Yukai, and Guo Guizhen. Zhao Yun's chest was suffocated with a mouthful of blood, and she almost spat it out. This Mu Chunfang was really interesting. She was wondering why he had asked Qin Yuan to help out of the blue. They were not hard-working people. At this moment, he finally understood. So this was what he had in mind. Zhao Yun was curious about how Mu Chunfang had the cheek to say all this. Did he really not think that there was anything wrong with it? They were going to be in-laws in the future, so it was inevitable that they would interact with each other often. Since Qin Yuan was Zhao Ping's future husband, wasn't it natural for him to help her family? How could he have the cheek to ask for money? When Zhao Wenhua heard this, he felt very awkward. It was hard to take back words that had been praised. If he had known that Qin Yuan was asking for money, he would definitely not have agreed to let Qin Yuan help out. This in-law of his, Zhao Wenhua, was also unhappy, but he did not know what to say. After thinking about it, he decided to forget about it. After all, his family and family Qin would be in-laws in the future. Even if Qin Yuan could not do much work, he would just treat it as helping out the family Qin. After all, if the family Qin lived well, his Ping would not have to suffer too much. Zhao Wenhua did not say anything, but Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were not happy. They began to mock the family Qin people. This brat, how much work can he do? Let's not talk about the fact that he's my brother-in-law's future son-in-law. Even if he's not, his salary shouldn't be the same as ours. Isn't this clearly taking advantage of her? As Liang Jinshan spoke, Liang Jinhui followed behind and agreed, that's right. How can it be the same as ours? We've done a lot of work and we're skilled. He's just a weak young man. At most, he'll just be an assistant. How could you say something like that? The Qin family's faces turned red from Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui's words. Mu Chunfang thought, isn't it normal to be paid for work? Since Zhao Wenhua wanted to use the money to hire an outsider, he might as well hire Yuan Heir to do it. This would be good for the family and not benefit others. She didn't know why Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui said that. When Zhao Wenhua saw the Qin family's awkwardness, he hurriedly came out to mediate. He also did not want to embarrass the family Qin and prevent the two families from becoming too awkward. Zhao Wenhua said, all right, eldest uncle, second uncle, don't say any more. It's fine if Yuan Heir comes to help. Just treat it as letting Yuan Heir train. It'll be good in the future if he knows more now. After all, this was Zhao Wenhua's family matter. It was not good for Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui to interfere too much. What the in-law said is right. Let Yuan follow behind to learn more things and become more capable. When our family Qin becomes wealthy, Ping won't have to suffer too much when she marries over. Mu Chunfang hurriedly continued Zhao Wenhua's words. Chapter 904. If it weren't for his family's Ping, he wouldn't have compromised so quickly. Zhao Wenhua was now faintly worried in his heart. Just how was this family Qin's character? If they became unkind in the future, it would be really tiring to continue dating them. he didn't really care about whether they were poor or not. The main thing was the character of the other party's family members. Zhao Wenhua sighed slightly in his heart. It was useless to think about all these now. His family's Ping, and Qin Yuan's marriage had already been set. It was definitely impossible for them to return at this time. Furthermore, his family's Ping had such an attitude of wanting to get married. If he raised an objection at this time and said to postpone the marriage, he reckoned that Zhao Ping would make a fuss with him. Now, he could only look to the future and hope that at least Qin Yuan wouldn't disappoint him. After lunch, the Qin family didn't stay at Zhao Yun's house for long. Instead, they went back. When Qin Yuan was about to leave, Zhao Ping looked at him with a reluctant expression. When Zhao Yun saw this, she couldn't help but want to give her a few slaps. Fortunately, they were at home, and no one saw it. If they were seen outside, who knew what they would say about their old Zhao family's daughter? Zhao Yun didn't want to be implicated by Zhao Ping because she was the same as Zhao Ping Zhao Ping tugged at Qin Yuan and looked at Qin Yuan reluctantly. She said, "Big brother Yuan, are you leaving so soon?" Qin Yuan glanced at Zhao Ping's face. He clutched his chest and nearly vomited. He said to Zhao Ping, somewhat unhappily, "Didn't you see that my parents said they were leaving? Could it be that I'm going to stay here alone?" Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan very reluctantly. "Big brother Yuan. It's not like you can't stay behind by yourself. You can leave later." Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Ping with disgust. It was said that ugly people were more mischievous. Qin Yuan felt that this saying was very appropriate when applied to Zhao Ping. Wasn't she afraid that he would vomit if he saw her ugly face? "What time is later? If I go back with my parents, we can keep each other company. If I stay here, won't I have to go back alone?" Qin Yuan said coldly. Seeing that Qin Yuan wasn't happy, Zhao Ping pouted and said, "All right then. Big brother Yuan, go back then. Slow down." Qin Yuan responded faintly, "Got it. You're so long-winded." Qin Yuan followed the Qin couple out of old Zhao's courtyard. Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan's back view anxiously. She was a little worried. When Zhao Yun saw Zhao Ping's anxious look, she couldn't help but complain, "Big sister Ping, your family has already left. What are you still looking at? Even if you keep looking, you can't bring them back." Zhao Ping turned around angrily and glared at Zhao Yun. "Zhao Yun, what does it have to do with you whether I look or not? You're so talkative. You look so eager, others will definitely laugh at you if they see you. I'm just reminding you." Zhao Yun's mouth softly mocked. "Who asked you to remind me?" Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Yun angrily. "Treating my good intentions as ill intent, don't be hypocritical, Zhao Yun. Do you think I don't know what you're thinking? You can't wait for me to make a fool of myself." Zhao Ping said with a pout. "I'm innocent, big sister Ping. Since when am I that kind of person? You're my biological sister. How am I hypocritical towards you?" Chapter 905. Zhao Yun laughed bitterly. Did Zhao Ping have any conscience? If it weren't for her, she probably wouldn't have been able to get married. She wouldn't have been able to lead such a carefree life. "Sister Ping, you're too heartless. If I hadn't agreed to lend father and mother money so that you could have so much dowry when you get married, would the Qin Yuan have married you? You mustn't forget that." Zhao Yun sneered. Zhao Ping saw the dangerous atmosphere in Zhao Yun's smile and didn't dare to say anything. Zhao Ping was afraid that if she made Zhao Yun unhappy, Zhao Yun or wouldn't lend her father and mother money. Then, what would happen to her dowry? Anyway, she wouldn't lose anything if she didn't say anything. At most, she would let Zhao Yun gloat. I'm not talking to you. Zhao Ping said angrily and went to Liang Jinqiao's side. Liang Jinqiao was checking the betrothal gift sent by the family Qin. Just now, the family Qin was around and everyone was eating, so it wasn't convenient for her to check. After Liang Jinqiao saw it, she couldn't help but sigh. The betrothal gifts were all indispensable things, but they didn't seem to be prepared for leave. Moreover, the gifts were obviously of inferior quality and were bought at the cheapest price. However, what else could she say? It was lucky that the family Qin could come. She couldn't argue with the family Qin just because of the betrothal gifts. Seeing Liang Jinqiao sigh, Zhao Yun went forward and asked, "Mother, what's the matter?" Sigh, "It's nothing. It's just that the gifts given by Ping Er's in-laws are cheap and a little shabby. Generally, the betrothal gifts given by the in-laws represent how much they value their future daughter-in-law. The more important you are, the more generous the betrothal gifts will be." Liang Jinqiao's words were self-evident. Since the family Qin only sent such a small betrothal gift, it was obvious that they did not take Zhao Ping seriously. Zhao Yun came forward and looked at the betrothal gifts on the table. After reading it, she was speechless. What kind of gift was this? They actually had the nerve to send it over and then freeload a meal at their house. Zhao Yun suddenly had a very disgusting feeling. Hearing Liang Jinqiao's words, Zhao Ping was a little unhappy. "Mother, how can you say that? It was fine as long as her two elder brothers sent these things over. Their family was poor and couldn't afford many things, so it was fine if they didn't send anything over. It's definitely not because he doesn't value me." Liang Jinqiao did not want to refute Zhao Ping's words. If he did, Zhao Ping would probably be sad. Actually, in the countryside, marrying a wife was not such a simple thing. Even if a poor family wanted to marry a wife, if the family did not have money, they would borrow some money from their relatives. They would definitely not send such a shabby betrothal gift. After all, this concerned the family's reputation and how much they valued their future daughter-in-law. Liang Jinqiao could only comfort himself now. It was because the family Qin was too poor that they could only send such a gift. They could not be too calculative with the family Qin. It was his family Qin's fault for not being good-looking, so much so that it did not matter if Zhao Ping was married or not. "Yes, Ping you're right. Our family doesn't lack that little money. It's fine as long as there's a formality," Liang Jinqiao said. Chapter 906. Zhao Yun didn't know what to say about Zhao Ping Did this woman say that she was stupid, or stupid, or stupid? She didn't have any brains at all. She didn't even take him seriously, but he was always thinking about Qin Yuan. She wanted to know what Zhao Ping's life in the family Qin would be like after she got married. "Mother, if there's nothing else, I'll go back first," Zhao Yun said. After she went back, she still had to go up the mountain to deliver food to Mu Lianfeng. Liang Jinqiao nodded and replied, "Yun you can go back. There's nothing else here." "Okay." Zhao Yun was just about to go out when she saw Zhao Tianan coming back. He was holding a bouquet of red and green flowers in his hand. They were very beautiful. Zhao Tianan was so flustered that he almost bumped into Zhao Yun. "Tianan, where did you go? Why didn't I see you at lunch?" Zhao Yun asked. "Second sister. I had something to do." Zhao Tianan stuttered and finally spat out these words. "Then hurry up and eat now. Fortunately, your mother left some food for you. Otherwise, you'd be hungry." Thank you, mother and second sister. Zhao Tianan lowered his head and felt a little guilty. Zhao Yun looked at her younger brother and guessed that Zhao Tianan must have done something bad, but she didn't want to expose him. Hey, child, no matter what you did, you shouldn't have come back so late at noon. Liang Jinchao nagged. Today, because there were guests at home, he couldn't spare so much attention. Otherwise, he would have gone out to look for him. Zhao Tianan muttered, Mother, aren't I back now? I won't do it again. Liang Jinchao sighed and did not say anything more about Zhao Tianan. I'll go to the kitchen to heat up the food for you, Liang Jinchao said. Yes, thank you, Mother. Liang Jinchao couldn't help but shake her head. You're too much. Why are you being so courteous with your mother? Mother, all right. Don't talk about it anymore. Let's cook. Mother will heat it up and the food will be ready very quickly. Eating so late, you must be hungry, right? After Liang Jinchao finished nagging, she walked out of the third room and went into the kitchen to heat up the dishes. Zhao Tianan's eyes darkened. In fact, he didn't want to come back so late, but he had been helping out on the family's land in the morning. He couldn't spare any time at all, so he could only wait until the work was done before going out. Now they were ready to eat. After eating, they would return to work on the land. The wildflowers were picked by him during this period of time. Ah, Tianan, the flowers in your hands are so beautiful. Zhao Ping saw the flowers in Zhao Tianan's hands and exclaimed loudly. She rushed to Zhao Tianan in surprise and took the flowers from Zhao Tianan's hands. Looking at the flowers, she didn't know where Zhao Tianan had picked them. They were red and green and looked very beautiful. Zhao Ping picked another flower and pinned it to her ear. She thought it was beautiful and began to admire it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Zhao Yun was so disgusted by Zhao Ping that she almost vomited blood. Didn't this woman have any self-awareness? Didn't she know what she looked like? The flowers were so funny when pinned to her ear. Chapter 907. Zhao Tianan blushed and stammered to Zhao Ping, Big sis, those flowers aren't for you, Zhao Ping, looked at Zhao Tianan with some doubt. I heard that you picked these flowers back. If they aren't for me, then who are they for? Don't tell me that a boy like you likes these little flowers and grass. Maybe only girls like them. Being teased by Zhao Ping like this, Zhao Tianan's face turned even redder. Big sis, those flowers aren't for me, nor are they for you. They're for Xiaofeng. Big sis, can I trouble you with something? Can you help me give these flowers to Xiaofeng? Can you tell Xiaofeng not to be angry with me? She really misunderstood me. After the last incident, Zhao Tianan went to find Ma Xiaofeng to explain, but Ma Xiaofeng didn't listen and just ignored him. Because of this, Zhao Tianan was very sad. Now he had to think of a way to make Ma Xiaofeng forgive him and not be angry with him. After thinking about it, Zhao Tianan felt that he had to please the girl. Girls all liked flowers, so Zhao Tianan picked a lot of flowers back. If he gave them to Ma Xiaofeng, maybe Ma Xiaofeng wouldn't be angry with him when she saw them. Hearing Zhao Tianan say this, Zhao Ping smiled and said, I knew it. So you're giving them to Xiaofeng. But Tianan is busy, so I can't help you. You have to give them to her yourself. Big sis, Xiaofeng is ignoring me. If I give them to her, Xiaofeng definitely won't accept them. Zhao Ping patted Zhao Tianan on the shoulder and said, Tianan, don't worry about this. Don't worry, it won't happen. Xiaofeng is a good person. You just have to coax her well. In the end, it's your fault for making Xiaofeng angry. Zhao Tianan was a little disappointed and nervous. All right then, big sister, I'll send it over myself. Seeing this, Zhao Yuner had an indescribable feeling. Forget it, she couldn't be bothered to care about it anymore. She turned around and walked out of old Zhao's house with Zhao Yuner, heading up the mountain. Soon, they arrived at Mu Lianfeng's tent. They saw that Mu Lianfeng was busy with something with his head lowered. Seeing Zhao Yuner coming over, Mu Lianfeng hurriedly put away the things in his hands. Yuner, you're here. Zhao Yuner nodded. Yes, I'm bringing you food. Are you hungry? Thank goodness. I'm not hungry. Mu Lianfeng smiled. Zhao Yuner felt that this guy must have been too busy, so he didn't even know that he was hungry. Hurry up and eat. Even if you're not hungry, you should eat more. Zhao Yuner opened the lunchbox, and a fragrant aroma floated out. Okay. Mu Lianfeng responded very obediently. After a while, Mu Lianfeng wolfed down the food. He still said that he wasn't hungry. Even if he wasn't hungry, he could eat like this. Zhao Yuner really had to hand it to him. After eating, Mu Lianfeng elegantly wiped the corners of his mouth and said to Zhao Yuner, Yuner, I might need to leave Shui Lan village for a few days. Leave for a few days. Seeing the confusion in Zhao Yuner's eyes, Mu Lianfeng explained, Yes, Yuner. After this weapon is made, I have to show it to the emperor. I'll personally deliver it to him. Zhao Yuner nodded. Since he was going to do business, she naturally wouldn't say anything. She only reminded Mu Lianfeng, go quickly and come back quickly. Be careful on the road. Chapter 908. Mu Lianfeng was most worried about Zhao Yuner and Daodu when he was away for a few days. A woman and a child, they were simply too weak to even truss up a chicken. If the Prime Minister does something to Zhao Yuner and Daodu at this time, and he is not around, what should he do? Therefore, Mu Lianfeng's heart was on tenterhooks when he knew that he would be away for a few days. He was afraid that something would happen to Zhao Yuner and Daodu. He had a group of secret guards in his hands that he usually did not mobilize. This time, in order to ensure the safety of Zhao Yuner and Daodu, he had to mobilize these secret guards to protect Zhao Yuner. Even so, he could not be completely at ease. He only hoped that this matter could be settled as soon as possible so that he could return as soon as possible. I know, don't worry. I will take good care of Daodu. Don't worry about us, take care of your own safety. Zhao Yuner also reminded Mu Lianfeng. Compared to him, Mu Lianfeng was even more dangerous. Every time, he would be accidentally injured by others. This time, she could not accompany him. If Mu Lianfeng encountered any harm, she would not be able to appear by his side in time to save him. However, Mu Lianfeng, before you leave, you have to help me do something. Mu Lianfeng raised his eyebrows. He asked curiously. Because you want me to help you do something? Zhao Yuner hesitated for a moment. This sentence was not easy to say. After a moment of hesitation, Zhao Yuner finally whispered it in Mu Lianfeng's ear. Mu Lianfeng heard it and coughed slightly. He thought that Zhao Yuner did not know about this matter. He did not expect that Zhao Yuner knew more than him. Mu Lianfeng nodded and responded, All right, Yuner, I will pass down the instructions. Okay. After delivering lunch, Zhao Yuner went back from the mountain. When she passed by Ma Xiaofeng's house, she saw Zhao Tianan and Ma Xiaofeng standing together. Ma Xiaofeng took the flowers in her hands. Judging from their posture, they did not continue to be at odds with Zhao Tianan. However, at this time, Qian Chuanxiu suddenly came back. When she saw Zhao Tianan and Ma Xiaofeng's affectionate appearance, she put her hands on her hips and scolded, Damn girl, how many times have I told you? Don't get involved with old Zhao's family. Why don't you use your brain? You just don't listen to me. It's right in front of our house. Aren't you afraid of being seen and gossiped? After scolding Ma Xiaofeng, Qian Chuanqiu glared fiercely at Zhao Tianan. And you come to my house every day to seduce my Xiaofeng. Aren't you afraid that you'll ruin my Xiaofeng's reputation? Ma Xiaofeng stood timidly in front of Qian Chuanqiu, afraid that Qian Chuanqiu would slap her. She was scared of Qian Chuanqiu all these years. Mother, Tianan and I are not what you think. If it's not what I think, then what is it? You know how to seduce men at such a young age. What will happen in the future? Damn girl, I think you've implicated me. People will gossip about me. See how I deal with you later. As Qian Chuanqiu spoke, she poked Ma Xiaofeng's forehead. Ma Xiaofeng was hurt by Qian Chuanqiu's poke. She bit her lower lip, and tears welled up in her eyes. Her mother even said that she was seducing men. She didn't know who was seducing men. She was clearly still in an improper relationship with Zhao Wenxuwei, but now she was talking about her. Chapter 909. However, what could she do? She could only be scolded by his mother, but she could not scold his mother. Although Zhao Yuner stood a little far away, he still heard Qian Chuanqiu's words. He felt that what Qian Chuanqiu said was quite reasonable. It seemed that Qian Chuanqiu knew his daughter very well. When Zhao Tianan saw Ma Xiaofeng being reprimanded and bullied by Qian Chuanqiu, he felt very uncomfortable in his heart. It was all because of him that Ma Xiaofeng was implicated. Zhao Tianan thought about it, and finally summoned up the courage to say to Qian Chuanqiu, Auntie, I like Xiaofeng very much. You stinking brat, how dare you say this in front of me? Do you want to ruin my Xiaofeng's reputation? Do you want my Xiaofeng to get married in the future? Let me tell you, don't casually come and provoke my Xiaofeng. The next time I see you come over, see if I don't have a good talk with your parents. Do you still want to have a little face? A young man coming over all day to find my girl. Zhao Tianan knew that because of the previous incident, Qian Chuanqiu could be said to be the kind of person who did not have any contact with old Zhao's family. Of course, he was also not liked by Qian Chuanqiu. Auntie. I like Xiaofeng, so I want to marry Xiaofeng. If I marry Xiaofeng, I won't be afraid that Xiaofeng's reputation will be tarnished. Auntie, I am a responsible person. I won't let Xiaofeng be wronged. I want to marry Xiaofeng. Although Zhao Tianan stuttered, it was the first time he summoned up the courage to say such words in front of Qian Chuanqiu. After saying that, Zhao Tianan's whole face turned red. He looked at Qian Chuanqiu nervously to see what kind of reaction Qian Chuanqiu would have. After hearing that, Qian Chuanqiu was stunned, and then she began to mock and ridicule. He, want to marry my Xiaofeng? No way. My Xiaofeng is so beautiful, are you afraid that you can't find a good family? A trace of disappointment flashed in Zhao Tianan's eyes, but in the end, he was unwilling to give up on Ma Xiaofeng so easily. Therefore, he continued to say to Qian Chuanqiu, Auntie. Is it really impossible to marry Xiaofeng to me? Xiaofeng and I are kindred spirits. If you can marry Xiaofeng to me, I will treat Xiaofeng well in the future, and I will also be filial to you. Qian Chuanqiu sneered, what kindred spirits? When did my Xiaofeng say that she likes you? You shameless person, don't slander my Xiaofeng. If people spread rumors in the village, I'll teach you a lesson. Zhao Tianan suddenly felt a little discouraged. This wouldn't work, and that wouldn't work. Could it be that he couldn't get Ma Xiaofeng back? However, other than Ma Xiaofeng, he didn't want to marry anyone else. Auntie, I'm begging you. I really like Xiaofeng. Zhao Tianan said. He was so emotional that he cried. He wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes and looked at Zhao Yun. He almost vomited blood. Did this younger brother of his have any future prospects? It was just a woman, and the future was uncertain. Now, he was crying first. Qian Chuanxiu was also somewhat baffled by Zhao Tianan's reaction. She felt that Zhao Tianan was too exaggerated. Even if he liked her daughter, it shouldn't be to this extent. Frowning slightly, Qian Chuanxiu thought for a moment and said, "Hee, if you want to marry my Xiao Feng, then tell your parents to bring 50 taels of silver as a betrothal gift. Bring it over, and I will marry my Xiao Feng girl to you." Chapter 9-10. He felt that if he were to marry into old Zhao's family, especially the third branch, with Zhao Yun'er's annoying older sister, he would not be welcomed by Zhao Tianan. Therefore, in her heart, she had never thought of marrying Ma Xiaofeng to Zhao Tianan. No matter what, she had to anger the people in old Zhao's third branch. If her own daughter were to marry him, then all the anger she had suffered before would have been in vain. Now that this person said that he wanted the other family's Xiao Feng's daughter, if Xiao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao really took out 50 taels of silver, she would not mind marrying her daughter off. After all, 50 taels of silver could let their family live a good life. Now that she said this, it sounded more like extortion. When Zhao Tianan heard that Qin Chuanxiu actually asked for 50 taels of silver, he was instantly stunned. 50 taels of silver was not a small amount, and it was not something that could be casually taken out. Yesterday, he found out that their family was living a better life now than before. However, it was not easy for his second sister and parents to earn money. His family was building a house, and his eldest sister was getting married, so they had to spend a lot of money during this period. Now, where would they have the money to marry a wife for him? It would be fine if she asked for less, but the main thing was that Qian Chuanxiu actually asked for 50 taels of silver. Seeing Zhao Tianan's dilemma, she knew that Zhao Tianan definitely could not take out the money, so Qian Chuanxiu snorted coldly and urged Zhao Tianan, "Hurry up and leave. Hurry up and don't loiter in front of my house. Since you can't take out the 50 taels of silver, what's the point of talking about it? I'm telling you, stop staring at my Xiao Feng." Zhao Tianan was extremely anxious. What should he do now? Qian Chuanxiu was not going to marry Ma Xiaofeng to him. Why are you still standing in front of my house? Hurry up and leave, hurry up and leave. As Qian Chuanxiu spoke, as if she was afraid that Zhao Tianan would not leave, she used her cloth shoes to whip Zhao Tianan's body. Zhao Tianan gasped and could only leave Xiao Feng's courtyard. When he left, his face was filled with disappointment. Zhao Yun'er looked at the situation and couldn't help but snort coldly in her heart. This Qian Chuanxiu was really interesting. Did she really think that her daughter was worth 50 taels of silver? He didn't know how to ask. Now, with Qian Chuanxiu making things difficult for him and not letting his family say anything, her younger brother had to give up on this idea. Zhao Yun'er thought so, and her mood was a lot better. Zhao Yun'er first sent the lunchbox back, then went to her cousin Zhao Xi's house. This time, he didn't go to find Zhao Xi. It was because Zhao Xi's wife, Nian, wanted to help him. Nian had just returned from the mountain not long ago. When she saw Zhao Yun'er, she chuckled and supported her. "Yun'er, you're here." "Yes." Zhao Yun'er nodded and replied with a smile. Nian hurriedly greeted Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, come in and have a seat." Because of Zhao Yun'er, Nian could get a good salary every month, so she was very grateful to Zhao Yun and became more enthusiastic now. Zhao Yun'er waved her hand and said to Nian, "It's okay, sister-in-law. I don't have anything to do. I'll go back after I'm done." However, Nian grabbed Zhao Yun'er and stopped her from leaving. She nagged at Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, it's not easy for you to come to my house. Why are you leaving so soon? Let's take a seat and have a chat." Chapter 9-11. Sure. We'll just talk for a while, said Nian smilingly. Zhao Yun and Nian she entered the house together. In her previous life, Nian she poured water for Zhao Yun, and brought Zhao Yun, some peanuts and melon seeds for Zhao Yun, to eat. Zhao Yun had never been treated with such hospitality. Looking at the sincere smile on Nian Shi's face, Zhao Yun smiled. Zhao Yun knew that the reason why Madame Nian was so attentive was because she had introduced her to a good job. Zhao Yun sighed. Why was there such a huge difference between people? Some people would be grateful if she helped them, but some people would rather not help them. They were heartless and ungrateful. Zhao Yun munched on the melon seeds while telling Nian Shi about her request. Hearing that, Nian Shi nodded, patted her chest and said to Zhao Yun, all right, Yun, I got it. Don't worry, I'll get it done for you. Thank you, cousin-in-law. Yun, why are you being so polite with me? Zhao Yun, laughed heartily and said, I won't be polite with you then, cousin-in-law. After eating the melon seeds, Zhao Yun, stood up to leave. Nian Shi didn't ask her to stay. As soon as she came out of Nian Shi's house, Zhao Yun saw Zhao Si and Lu Lei walking over from a distance. Zhao Si had something to do at home, so she asked Lu Lei to help her. There were many men in the village who knew how to work, but only a few of them were close to Zhao Si. Asking Lu Lei, who was familiar with her, to help her make things easier. Zhao Yun felt that she hadn't seen Lu Lei for a long time. Seeing him suddenly made her feel a little awkward. However, looking at the smile on Lu Lei's face, she guessed that he had been living well recently. Zhao Si and Lu Lei chatted as they walked. As soon as she raised her head, she saw Zhao Yun. Lu Lei felt a little guilty. Lu Lei wasn't sure if Zhao Yun was angry at him for carrying Xiao Hong on his back. Therefore, when he saw Zhao Yun again, Lu Lei did not know how to face her. Zhao Yun did not take this matter to heart. If Lu Lei really got together with Xiao Hong, she would not be able to stop them. After all, since she had rejected him, it was his freedom to choose who he wanted. She wasn't so shameful as to treat him as a spare tire. Fourth brother Zhao, brother Lei Zi. Zhao Yun stepped forward and greeted them naturally. Yun, you're here. Zhao Si also smiled. Zhao Si looked at the stunned Lu Lei and patted him. Lu Lei, what are you thinking about? Yun greeted you, but you didn't even respond. Lu Lei snapped back to his senses and hurriedly greeted Zhao Yun. Yun, why are you at Zhao Si's house? I came over to trouble my cousin-in-law with something. I see. Okay, then you guys go ahead. I'll leave first. Zhao Yun smiled and greeted them. With that, Zhao Yun turned and walked away. Looking at Zhao Yun's back, Lu Lei was in a daze for a moment again. Yun smiled at him just now. Did he see wrongly? He thought that Zhao Yun would never talk to him again, but he did not expect that Zhao Yun would still smile at him. Seeing Lu Lei's reaction, Zhao Si sighed slightly. He patted Lu Lei's shoulder and said to him, all right, she's already gone far away. What are you still looking at? Lu Lei blushed slightly. I wasn't looking at anything. Chapter 9:12. Being stared at by Zhao Si, Lu Lei felt even more guilty. What was he looking at? He was just looking at Zhao Yun. He clearly knew that it was impossible between him and Zhao Yun, but as soon as he saw Zhao Yun, he couldn't help but be attracted to Zhao Yun. His gaze couldn't help but fall on Zhao Yun. After looking, Lu Lei felt that he couldn't take his eyes off her. Zhao Si sighed. Lu Lei, as a brother, I have to tell you that Yun belongs to the prince. You'd better not think about her. It's impossible between you and her. Lu Lei lowered his head and his eyes darkened. He nodded to Zhao Si. Brother Zhao Si, I know what you're talking about, so you don't have to say anything to me. I don't have any thoughts about Yun now. Zhao Si nodded. It's good that you don't have any thoughts. We're all useless people. We just have to live with others honestly. Yes, yes. Speaking of this, Zhao Si thought of Xiao Hong and asked with concern, Lu Lei, how are things going between you and Xiao Hong? Seeing how Xiao Hong runs to your house all day, you two should be almost done, right? Lu Lei nodded and then shook his head. Although Xiao Hong had been taking care of him these days, marriage was not a game. He couldn't just agree like that. If he regretted it in the future, he wouldn't have the chance to regret it. Anyway, he had been single for so many years. He didn't care if he continued to be single. Lu Lei, what do you mean? Is it okay or not? I don't know either. Let's think about it again. I have to think about it carefully. If I get married, I'll have to be responsible for the girl for the rest of my life. This isn't a joke. Zhao Si agreed with this point. Yes, after getting married, we men will have a lot of responsibilities. But Lu Lei, you're not young anymore. The children of your age in our village are all quite old. You're still single now. It's not enough for every woman in the family to take care of you. As long as you find a suitable one, it'll be fine. As long as women can take care of the family and give birth, it's fine. Lu Lei knew that Zhao Si was concerned about him, so he agreed. Zhao Si patted Lu Lei's shoulder and comforted him. Actually, it's not easy for ordinary people like us to be with the person we like. In the end, the girls we find are all arranged by our families. So, you don't have to think too much about it. In the future, you will realize that marrying a woman you like or not is the same. Zhao Si's words fell into Nian's ears. Hearing Zhao Si's words, could it be that her husband had a girl he liked before? But in the end, it didn't work out, so he casually married her. Nian suddenly felt very sad. Why did this happen? Zhao Si had always treated her well and was very responsible for the children at home. But she never thought that the man she had been with for 7 or 8 years had once had another woman in his heart. Nian felt uneasy and uncomfortable, but she didn't dare to ask Zhao Si about it. She bit her lower lip and endured the grievance. She had to find out who her husband liked in the past. If she was still in the village, she had to prevent her husband from meeting that woman. After all, it was easier for a man to fall in love with a woman he once liked. Chapter 9:13. Zhao Si didn't give Lu Lei any pressure. Take your time to think about it. I think it's a good idea for you to marry Xiao Hong. Okay. The two of them arrived in front of Zhao Si's house. Zhao Si called Lu Lei over because he wanted to renovate the wall of his house. Because the wall was neglected, some of the walls had collapsed. If it continued like this, the wall wouldn't last long. After renovating, it could last for a few years. When Zhao Si came back, he greeted Nian Shi. Nian ignored Zhao Si. Zhao Si was puzzled. Why did Nian ignore him? In the past, when he came back, Nian would stick to him passionately. Zhao Si glanced at Nian and found that Nian's eyes were red. He asked, "What's wrong, Qin Er? Have you cried? Your eyes are red. What's wrong? Did something happen at home? Or did someone bully you?" When Nian met Zhao Si's concerned eyes, she felt even more stifled. She replied coldly to Zhao Si, "You don't have to pretend." Nian's words sounded like a fit of pique. At the same time, she felt jealous in her heart. When she thought that her man had another man in his heart, Nian felt very uncomfortable. After Nian finished speaking, she ran straight into the house, as if she didn't want to talk to Zhao Si. Zhao Si was stunned by Nian's reaction. What's going on here? Why did Mrs. Nian say that out of the blue? Everyone was confused. If it were any other time, Xiao Si would have chased after her and asked. Now that Lu Lei was here, he was too embarrassed to go out. Lu Lei asked with concern, Xiao Si, what's wrong with sister-in-law? Xiao Si shook his head and said, I don't know. Sigh, but it's fine. Sometimes women will mess with you for no reason. Most of the time, you don't even know why they are messing with you. I see. Lu Lei suddenly felt that women were a little scary. Would Xiao Hong mess with him like this when he got married in the future? Actually, it's nothing. It'll be fine soon. Xiao Si saw that Lu Lei was frightened, so he quickly added. Xiao Si was thinking that Lu Lei was not married yet. If he were to tell him that marriage was not a good thing, the trouble with women and family would probably scare Lu Lei into being single for the rest of his life. On the other side, on the third branch's land, several men were still working hard. Compared to Su Yukai and Guo Guizhen, Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui appeared to be more lazy. If they were tired, they would sit down and rest. Because Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were the children's uncles, Xiao Wenhuo was too embarrassed to say anything. Apart from the fact that the two of them had a lot of time to rest every day, Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui worked well. In just a few days, the foundation of their house was almost done. Looking at the situation, it was estimated that it would be faster than he expected. After 2 or 3 days, he could call for other masons to come over and build the house. Su Yukai and Guo Guizhen saw that Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were resting and didn't say anything. They knew very well that Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were the granduncle of the third branch. They couldn't compare to them. They couldn't expect them to enjoy the same treatment as Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui. Apart from Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui, this job was very good. Chapter 9:14. For this reason, if they didn't work hard, they would be letting down Zhao Wenhuo's family. People should be content with what they have. Since others were kind to them, they naturally had to be kind in return. Zhao Wenhuo saw that Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were resting, so he asked Zhao Tianan to come over and move the stone. At this time, it was buried in the foundation, so Zhao Wenhuo couldn't carry it alone. Zhao Tianan heard Zhao Wenhuo's call and went over, but his expression didn't look very good, as if he was thinking about something. Come, Tianan, give me a hand. Dad can't move it alone, Zhao Wenhuo said. Okay, got it, Dad. Zhao Tianan responded. Zhao Tianan followed Zhao Wenhuo's instructions and lifted the stone up. Before it reached the foundation, Zhao Tianan's hand suddenly slipped, and the stone fell heavily. Zhao Tianan couldn't avoid it in time, and the stone fell heavily on Zhao Tianan's foot. Ah! Zhao Tianan cried out in pain. Zhao Wenhuo saw the situation and his expression suddenly changed. Ah, Tianan, how are you? It hurts. Zhao Tianan gritted his teeth and said. Zhao Wenhuo saw that Zhao Tianan's forehead was covered in cold sweat, and it looked quite scary. Zhao Wenhuo's heart clenched, and he hurriedly said to Zhao Tianan, Tianan, Dad will help you to the side to rest. Okay. Zhao Tianan responded. After Zhao Tianan rested at the side, he took off his shoes and looked at his feet. The toes in front were directly smashed red, and it looked a bit shocking. It was said that the 10 fingers were connected to the heart, so it was no wonder that he felt pain. Tianan, you rest first. I'll send you back when I'm done with my work. Xiao Yunlong called out. Zhao Tianan smiled slightly. Dad, it's okay. You don't have to worry about me. My injury isn't serious, it's just that my foot is red. My skin isn't broken, and I'm not bleeding either. Where's my mother? Zhao Wenhuo nodded. Since the skin was not broken and there was no bleeding, it meant that the situation was not that serious. Zhao Wenhua was relieved. All right, take a seat first. Yes, father. Zhao Tianan was sitting on a rock. Being exposed to the sun made people feel very uncomfortable. Although they didn't need to work, they were still parched by the sun. The water in the kettle had been finished, and he was waiting for his elder sister to bring more water. Zhao Tianan held his head and shielded it from the sun with his hand. He sighed in his heart. How could he be so unlucky? Ma Xiaofeng's mother had made things difficult for him today, so he probably gave up the idea of marrying Ma Xiaofeng. He really couldn't ask his parents for the 50 taels of silver to marry Ma Xiaofeng. In addition, his parents didn't agree to him and Ma Xiaofeng being together. Even if he asked, his parents probably wouldn't take out the money. Unless he had the ability to earn the 50 taels of silver himself, but was it possible? Ordinary people probably couldn't earn that much in their lifetime. Not to mention that he didn't know anything, how could he earn that much money so easily? It was because he was thinking about this that he was absent-minded when he was moving the rock, and so he smashed his foot. Zhao Tianan became more and more dejected. Forget it, it's better not to think about this. The more I think about it, the more I find trouble for myself. When Zhao Tianan was looking into the distance in a daze, he saw a girl walking over in his line of sight. Chapter 9:15. With just a glance, Zhao Wenhua's attention was deeply attracted by this girl. This girl was none other than Mu Hin. She was carrying a kettle in her hand, and it seemed that she was here to deliver water. However, Mu Hin was delivering water to Zhu Eru, not to his family. After Zhao Tianan had a very strange feeling towards Mu Hin, he was shocked by this feeling in his heart. How could he be like this? He clearly liked Ma Xiaofeng, but he felt that the other girls weren't ordinary either. Zhao Tianan shook his head heavily to get rid of the irritation in his heart. Mu Hin walked to the side of the ground and saw Zhao Tianan resting, so she said to Zhao Tianan, "Are you resting?" Mu Hin just greeted him out of politeness. Zhao Tianan had helped her by sending her back last time. Zhao Tianan nodded. Yes, yes. I'm here to deliver water to my brother-in-law. Mu Hin said to Zhao Tianan with a sweet smile on the corner of her mouth. Although the smile was not very bright, it gave people a refreshing feeling like a daisy. Zhao Tianan looked at her in a daze for a while, then finally came back to his senses and smiled back at Mu Hin. Then go deliver water. It's not urgent. By the way, what's wrong with you? Mu Hin saw Zhao Tianan rubbing his foot and could not help but ask with concern. Zhao Tianan's face flushed a little. It's nothing. It's nothing. I just accidentally hit my foot. It's nothing. Mu Hin's eyes showed a trace of concern. Is that so? Then be careful. Don't hit your foot again. Fortunately, it's nothing serious this time. Yes. By the way, are you thirsty? Mu Hin asked casually when he saw a small crack on Zhao Tianan's lips. Zhao Tianan was indeed very thirsty at this moment. She nodded shyly. Yes, I'm a little thirsty, but I've finished all the water in my house. My elder sister hasn't sent me any water yet. So that's how it is. Then you can drink mine. I have a lot of water in my kettle. My brother-in-law can't drink that much by himself. If it's not enough, I'll go back to get some more and send some over. Hearing Mu Hin's words, Zhao Tianan pursed his dry lips and said to Mu Hin, "Great, thank you so much." Mu Hin smiled and said, "It's nothing. It's just a glass of water. You don't have to be so polite." "Yes, but I still have to thank you." "It's fine." Looking at the faint smile on Mu Hin's lips, it gave people a very comfortable feeling. Some people were just like that. Although they were not very beautiful, they made people feel very comfortable. They were more pleasing to the eye than those who were outstanding beauties. Mu Hin poured a glass of water for Zhao Tianan and handed it over. Zhao Tianan was probably really thirsty. He gulped down the glass of water in a few mouthfuls. Suddenly drinking too fast, Zhao Tianan directly choked. Cough, cough. Zhao Tianan violently coughed a few times. Mu Hin hurriedly patted Zhao Tianan's back and then asked with concern, "Are you okay?" Cough, cough. I'm fine. I just drank too fast and choked. After Zhao Tianan coughed a few times, he recovered and said to Mu Hin. Chapter 9:16. The girl's voice was light and playful, as pleasant as a bell. Zhao Tianan knew that Mu Hin was laughing at her, and she blushed slightly. Seeing that Zhao Tianan seemed to be shy, Mu Hin quickly stopped smiling and comforted Zhao Tianan. I don't mean anything else, and I'm not gloating. I just think you're quite interesting. Take your time drinking. Don't worry, no one will snatch it for you anyway. I'm not in a hurry to give it to my brother-in-law. Zhao Tianan responded bitterly, but the blush on her face did not dissipate. Mu Hin poured another cup and handed it to Zhao Tianan. Here, drink another cup. You must not have drunk enough. Zhao Tianan took it. Thank you. Just as she took a sip, she saw a figure rushing over. This person was Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was also carrying a kettle in her hand. Seeing Mu Hin and Zhao Ping together, she was very angry. She rushed over angrily and directly pushed Mu Hin aside. Zhao Ping's strength was not small, and Mu Hin's thin and weak body could not withstand it, so she fell heavily to the ground. Ah! Mu Hin gasped in pain. She looked up and saw Zhao Ping's angry face and fierce eyes. Was this woman crazy? Why did she come to bully her? This was really too much. She could let it go if she bullied her once or twice, but why did she keep bullying her? Before Mu Hin could lose her temper, she heard Zhao Ping mocking her. You little bitch, what do you mean? Are you here to seduce my brother? I'm telling you, don't even think about it. Mu Hin stared at Zhao Ping in a daze. What, seducing his younger brother? What the hell was this? As if Zhao Ping hadn't scolded enough, she continued to mock and ridicule. Last time, it was because of you that my younger brother and Xiao Feng got into a fight. Why don't you take a look at how far you are from Xiao Feng? Humph. You know how to seduce people at such a young age. How shameless. Zhao Ping's words became more and more unpleasant. Mu Hin felt very stifled. She just gave Zhao Tianan a glass of water. She really didn't mean anything else. Why did Zhao Ping make it sound so filthy? Zhao Tianan frowned and hurriedly tugged at Zhao Ping. He said to Zhao Ping with some displeasure, Sister, how can you be like this? They were kind enough to give me water, but you scolded them the moment you came over. You even attacked them. Sister, you're too much. Being scolded by Zhao Tianan like this, Zhao Ping suddenly became angry. Tianan, are you out of your mind? No wonder Xiao Feng is angry with you. You know that Xiao Feng doesn't like you being with other girls, but you still took their water. Humph, I think she just wants to use the excuse of giving you water to get close to you. Tianan, don't be so stupid. You don't even know that you've been cheated. Zhao Ping babbled, and at the same time, she glared at Mu Hin with a very unfriendly look. You're so scheming. But with me here, there's no way. Don't even think about having anything to do with my brother. He already has someone he likes. Don't even think that my brother will like you. Mu Hin's eyes darkened for a moment. She knew that Zhao Tianan already had someone he liked, so she never had any thoughts about him. Chapter 9:17. Upon hearing Zhao Ping, scolding, Zhao Tianan became even more anxious. Mu Hin kindly gave him a drink, but Zhao Ping, scolded him like this. Zhao Tianan knew that Mu Hin must be feeling very upset. Not to mention Mu Hin, even he felt a little upset when he heard that. Zhao Tianan thought about it, and finally said to Zhao Ping, Big sister, you really misunderstood. I didn't mean what you said. How can you slander me like this? Who will help me after you do this? Zhao Ping, glared at Zhao Tianan as if she expected better from him. Then, she poked Zhao Tianan's forehead and scolded Zhao Tianan, Tianan, is there something wrong with your head? Or have you really been charmed by this little b*tch? I'm doing this for your own good, but you're helping an outsider. Zhao Tianan's forehead hurt from Zhao Ping, poking. Big sister, I'm not helping an outsider. I'm just telling the truth. Hee, you're still telling the truth. Tianan, do you still want to be with Xiaofeng? If Xiaofeng sees you like this, she'll definitely ignore you. This time, I put in a lot of good words for you. If you make Xiaofeng angry again, it'll probably be useless even if I put in a good word for you. After Zhao Ping, finished speaking, Zhao Tianan's mouth became a little more bitter. Now, even if he didn't interact with any girls, Ma Xiaofeng would probably ignore him. Even if Ma Xiaofeng paid attention to him, it would probably be useless because Qian Chuanxiu wouldn't let Ma Xiaofeng marry him. Now that he was with Ma Xiaofeng, it would only delay Ma Xiaofeng. Big sister, you don't have to worry about me and Xiaofeng, Zhao Tianan said faintly. Zhao Ping, was surprised for a moment. She felt that Zhao Tianan shouldn't have said this, so she looked at Zhao Tianan curiously. Tianan, have you lost your mind? Do you know what you just said? Do you mean that you don't care about Xiaofeng anymore? Zhao Tianan bit his lower lip and didn't answer. Between him and Xiaofeng, it wasn't a matter of whether he wanted to or not. But the 50 taels of silver. Unless he took out 50 taels of silver, he shouldn't have any unnecessary fantasies. In Zhao Pingji's opinion, Zhao Tianan's reaction meant that Zhao Tianan had changed his mind. Zhao Ping, smiled. Ma Xiaofeng was her best friend after all. How could Zhao Tianan treat his friend like this? Tianan, you're heartless. Xiaofeng is with you, but you're acting like this. Do you think you're worthy of Xiaofeng? Zhao Tianan's eyes darkened. How could he be worthy of Xiaofeng? There was nothing between him and Mu Hin. He didn't do anything shameful behind Mu Hin's back. Big sister, can you stop being so unreasonable? Zhao Tianan lowered his voice and said to Zhao Ping, Tianan, you said I'm being unreasonable. Zhao Ping, felt that she was being disliked. She was being kind, but her younger brother said that. Big sister, Mu Hin kindly gave me water to drink, but you bullied her the moment you came. If you're not being unreasonable, then what are you? Zhao Tianan said and helped Mu Hin up from the ground. Zhao Tianan looked at Mu Hin apologetically and said to Mu Hin, I'm sorry, this time, it was because of her that she got Mu Hin into trouble. Mu Hin rubbed her painful butt and still shook her head. It's fine. Chapter 9:18. Actually, this time, the injury was not serious. It was just a fall on his buttocks. He would be fine after rubbing it a little. It was not a serious pain. Tianan, I think you're really mesmerized by this little b*tch this time. Zhao Ping, saw Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin's intimate posture and pointed at Zhao Tianan and continued to scold him. Zhao Tianan felt very tired in his heart. He had already experienced a lot of troubles today. Now, Zhao Ping, continued to annoy him. Mu Hin was constantly being scolded as a little b*tch. He was very dissatisfied with Zhao Ping. He did not want to continue listening to Zhao Ping's excessive scolding, so he said to Zhao Tianan, "I'm going to give my brother-in-law some water first." "Go ahead." Zhao Tianan responded. He knew that if Mu Hin stayed, he would probably be scolded by Zhao Ping again. It was better to leave now. When Mu Hin turned to leave, Zhao Ping rushed over again and stopped Mu Hin. How could it be so easy to let Mu Hin go just like that? Little b asterisk tch, shameless. Next time, you'll walk around my brother. Otherwise, if I see you again, I'll tear your face apart. Do you believe me? Zhao Ping grabbed Mu Hin's hair and pulled, causing Mu Hin to feel pain. However, he bit his lip and did not know how to resist. During this tug and pull, the water bottle in Mu Hin's hand accidentally fell to the ground and shattered. Seeing the water bottle shatter on the ground, Zhao Ping looked at Mu Hin proudly. "This is a lesson for you. Now get out of here quickly." Mu Hin looked at the fragments on the ground. This water bottle could not be used again after it was shattered. Now, she had caused trouble for her sister's family. Although the kettle wasn't anything good, it would probably cost a few copper coins to buy it. If it was broken, it would be a waste of a few copper coins. Zhao Tianan looked at Mu Hin's dejected expression and felt sorry for her. "Sister, you. How can you be like this?" Zhao Tianan was so mad at Zhao Ping that he didn't know what to say. Just as he was about to step forward to comfort Mu Hin wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and said to Zhao Tianan, "Don't come over, lest you accuse me of seducing you again." After Mu Hin finished speaking, he ran off. Looking at Mu Hin's back, Zhao Tianan felt an indescribable sense of guilt. Now that Mu Hin had run away, he did not even have a chance to apologize. "What do you mean by, like me?" Zhao Ping pouted. She didn't feel that she had crossed the line at all. Alas! Zhao Tianan could only sigh. He didn't know what to say. It was impossible to reason with a person like Zhao Ping. He had to find a chance to visit Mu Hin later and properly apologize to her. At the same time, he also had to give her something as an apology. Zhao Ping put down the water bottle and went back in a good mood. Zhao Yun went back home and busied herself for a while before preparing dinner. In order to send Mu Lianfeng off, the dinner was a little more sumptuous. Mu Lianfeng finished his work on the mountain early and came back. The family of three had a warm meal together. In the evening, after Dao Du went to bed, Mu Lianfeng came over and put his arms around Zhao Yun's waist. He whispered in Zhao Yun's ear, "Yun, I have a gift for you." Zhao Yun was confused. "A gift? What gift do you have for me? Take a guess." Zhao Yun shook her head. "I don't know. I can't guess." Chapter 9:19. Mu Lianfeng smiled, and didn't continue to make things difficult for Zhao Yun. Instead, he said to Zhao Yun, "It's a good thing." Saying that, Mu Lianfeng took out a dagger from his pocket and handed it to Yun. He said to Zhao Yun, "Yun, I specially made this for you." Zhao Yun took it and looked at it. The dagger was very delicate, and the sheath was decorated with exquisite jewelry. "This is a dagger." Mu Lianfeng smiled, and then explained, "Yun, this dagger is made of steel, and it's very hard. You can try it and see how it feels." Zhao Yun pulled it out and tried it. Mu Lianfeng polished it very well, and the blade of the dagger was shining with cold light. Zhao Yun made a cut on the table. The dagger gently scraped the table, and a small hole was scraped open. It was so sharp that it could cut iron as if it were mud. "How is it?" Mu Lianfeng asked. "It's very sharp." "It's good," Zhao Yun said with a smile. Yuner, keep this dagger well. I won't be here for a few days, so you can take this dagger with you. If you are in danger, you can have a tool to protect yourself. Zhao Yuner nodded, and put the dagger back into the sheath carefully. In Zhao Yuner's eyes, it didn't look like a tool to protect herself, but was more like a delicate tool to keep herself safe. Mu Lianfeng rushed to make this for her for a whole day. Zhao Yuner felt warm in her heart. It felt so good to be cared for and cherished. Yuner, let's go to bed. Mu Lianfeng said. Mu Lianfeng thought about how he was going to leave tomorrow. He hugged Zhao Yuner a little reluctantly. He was afraid that if he fell asleep, he would have less time to be with Zhao Yuner. The next morning, Zhao Yuner also looked at Mu Lianfeng reluctantly. He wanted to leave, but she still had to go to town to set up her stall. She didn't even have the chance to see Mu Lianfeng off. Luckily, Mu Lianfeng would only be away for a few days. When Zhao Yun arrived at Yang City, she saw that it was very lively. It seemed that something big had happened. There were soldiers patrolling the streets. Mulan asked Zhao Yuner curiously, Yuner, I don't know what happened. There are so many soldiers coming out. Zhao Yuner looked at the soldiers running around the streets. She was also curious. I don't know. It must be something important. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many soldiers. In Zhao Yuner's impression, it was the first time that she had seen such a scene. Oh, forget it. No matter what it is, it must have nothing to do with us. Mulan sighed. Regarding Mulan's statement, Zhao Yun agreed very much. They were all ordinary people. They didn't have any contact with the government. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't have any relationship with them. Zhao Yuner set up her stall. As customers kept coming in, she heard the discussions of the customers. Do you know why there are so many soldiers today? No idea. You don't know. I heard that someone tried to assassinate a high-ranking official in the imperial court. But that person ran away, so the imperial court is now looking for him. Right. My relative who is a soldier in the army also told me about it. That high-ranking official almost lost his life. Is it true? Chapter 920. I also heard that this first-rank official is the current Prime Minister. It's hard to say. I don't know if it's the Prime Minister, but I do know that this person's identity isn't simple. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many soldiers. How do you know it's done by people from Yang City? I heard that people from the imperial court chased him all the way to Yang City. Zhao Yun wasn't in the mood to take care of the business at the stall. She was very interested in the gossip of the customers. When these people talked about the Prime Minister, Zhao Yun's brows furrowed. If the Prime Minister was really the target of the assassination, it would be interesting. Zhao Yun knew that Mu Lianfeng and the Prime Minister were enemies. The Prime Minister tried to kill Mu Lianfeng from time to time. It was also because of Mu Lianfeng's good luck that he was able to escape. If Mu Lianfeng wasn't so lucky, the consequences would be unimaginable. Therefore, if someone had the ability to help get rid of the Prime Minister, it would be the best thing. Zhao Yun suddenly thought that the person who wanted to assassinate the Prime Minister couldn't have been arranged by Mu Lianfeng, right? Thinking about it carefully, it was very possible. Zhao Yun was vaguely worried that this matter had nothing to do with Mu Lianfeng. No matter what, once this matter had something to do with Mu Lianfeng, even if Mu Lianfeng was fine in the end, it was inevitable that he would be implicated in some trouble. These troubles were completely unnecessary. Let's go and have a look. I heard that there's a notice on it. Let's go and see what's going on and see what the wanted criminal looks like. Okay, let's go. I'll go and have a look too. No, I haven't finished my breakfast yet. Then take your time. We'll go and have a look first. Ah, how can you be like this? Forget it, I'll go with you. I don't want to eat anymore. Then let's go together. Hurry up. If we're late, we won't be able to squeeze in and watch the fun. Okay. Zhao Yun couldn't help but want to go and have a look. Therefore, she said to Liang Jinqiao and Mulan. Mother, Mulan, you two take care of the stall first. I'll go and see what's going on. Mulan and Liang Jinqiao both nodded in agreement. Zhao Yun then followed the group of people. Finally, she saw the relevant content of the Prime Minister. All he did was describe some of the characteristics of the wanted criminal. Assassinating a high-ranking official of the imperial court was a serious crime. The Prime Minister, the Prime Minister, Ministers, Prime Minister, Prime Minister T, the Prime Minister, Prime Ministers, Prime Ministers, Prime Minister, T.S. This person was Yi Li. The more Zhao Yun looked at him, the more she felt he looked like him. She was a little surprised. No wonder Yi Li hadn't come to her stall for 2 or 3 days. Is it because of that? Zhao Yun frowned. If so, Yi Li would be in danger. Zhao Yun couldn't help worrying about Yi Li. Many people murmured after seeing Yi Li's portrait. Why does this man look so familiar? Yeah, he looks familiar. I think I've seen him somewhere before, but I can't remember where. Chapter 9:21. All of a sudden, a girl said loudly to the man in the portrait, "Isn't he the good-looking older brother?" "Oh, do you know him?" "Of course I know him. He goes to the breakfast stall every day, but he's suddenly disappeared these days." "Really? Why would I lie to you? I was wondering why he suddenly disappeared these days. It turns out that. So, the man in the portrait is him. I think it's 80% likely." The girl suddenly felt a little disappointed. Why did such a good-looking man have to assassinate a high-ranking official? This was great. If he was caught by the government, he would probably be punished severely. He might even lose his life. It was indeed a pity that such a good-looking man died. When she thought about how she might never be able to see this man again, she suddenly felt a sense of loss. Zhao Yun listened to their discussion and left the crowd in a trance. What should I do? Yi Li must be in a very dangerous situation now. Zhao Yun didn't know where Yi Li was now, so she couldn't do anything to help Yi Li, otherwise, she would have reached out to help Yi Li. Why was this man so muddle-headed? Seeing Zhao Yun coming back, Mulan asked her with curiosity. "Yun, what's wrong with you? You look so uneasy." "It's nothing." "Then why are you like this? What's written on the list?" Zhao Yun was hesitating whether she should tell Mulan or not. If she told Mulan, Mulan would definitely be worried. After all, Mulan and Yi Li got along well with each other for a long time. Mulan probably treated Yi Li as her friend just like Zhao Yun. Seeing Zhao Yun's reaction, Mulan was a little anxious and asked Zhao Yun, "What happened?" Zhao Yun sighed. After hesitating for a while, she told Mulan what she had seen. Mulan was shocked after hearing it. "Yun, is it true?" "It's true. Why would I lie to you about it?" Mulan frowned. "How could that be? Does it mean that Lord Yi is in danger? There are so many soldiers. Where can he go?" Zhao Yun shook her head. "I don't know. I hope he's not in Yang City. Those soldiers wouldn't be able to find the information in a short time. Since Yi Li's reward, those who saw Yi Li's whereabouts. In that case, Yi Li's situation would be more dangerous. Yeah, I hope he's not in Yang City. Yi Li must have a hard time being chased by the government. Lord Yi is so pitiful. It's not easy for him to live a better life, but now he's back to normal." Before, Mulan still hoped that Yili could go back to their stall to be a beauty sign and eat breakfast. Now, she only hoped that Yili could run as far away as possible. Now that the government is chasing him, it means that he hasn't been caught yet. At least he's safe now. It's useless for us to worry too much. Besides, he's so good at kung fu. I don't think he'll be caught so easily. Mulan thought for a while. Zhao Yun'er's words made sense. Mulan had seen Yili's kung fu. With such skills, it would be quite difficult for the officials to catch him in a short time. Chapter 9:22. Zhao Yun'er and Mulan didn't think too much about it, and continued to set up the stall with Mulan. In the morning, she was a little absent-minded. When she was about to close the stall, she suddenly saw many soldiers coming to her stall. Zhao Yun'er's eyebrows twitched, and she had a premonition that something bad was going to happen. "Hi, officers, may I know if you're here for breakfast or?" Gu Ning walked up and asked nervously. The soldiers glanced at Zhao Yun'er with cold faces, as if they didn't want to talk to Zhao Yun'er. "Who's the boss of this stall?" Zhao Yun'er replied, "I'm the boss. May I know why you're looking for me?" "Come with us. Someone said that you know the wanted criminal on today's notice, so we're going to arrest you and ask you about it." The soldiers looked ferocious. Zhao Yun'er's frown deepened. She screamed in her heart. "It's over. It's over. How did she get involved with this woman?" Zhao Yun'er felt that she was really wronged. "Officers, I'm just an ordinary woman who does business. The reason why I know her is that she eats at her stall every day. However, we've only exchanged a few words, and we don't have any deeper relationship. I don't even know where she lives. It's useless for you to find me." The officers snorted coldly, "That's enough. Don't talk nonsense with us. Hurry up and come with us." Zhao Yun'er suddenly became anxious. If she was taken away, who knew what would happen? Facing these soldiers, Zhao Yun'er couldn't do anything. Liang Jinqiao and Zhao Ping'er stood aside. Seeing Zhao Yun'er's situation, they were very anxious. If something happened to Zhao Yun'er, what should they do? Last time when Zhao Yun'er was arrested, Prince Shizhi was there. This time, Prince Shizhi happened to leave, and they couldn't find him. Therefore, once Zhao Yun'er was arrested, she could only wait for Mu Lianfeng to come back. However, at that time, would he be in a hurry? What if these people torture Zhao Yun'er? What should he do? What are you waiting for? Hurry up and come with us. Don't make us do anything to a woman like you," the soldiers urged. Zhao Yun'er said softly to the soldiers. "Please wait for a moment. I'll leave after saying a few words to my mother." The soldiers were not completely inhumane, and they just urged her. "If you have something to say it quickly." "Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, officers." Zhao Yun'er turned and went to Mulan and Liang Jinqiao. She gave them her blessings. "Mother, sister-in-law Mulan, please go to the county premier's mansion and tell them my name and situation. I think the county premier and his wife will come forward to help." Mulan and Liang Jinqiao nodded quickly. Although they didn't know how Zhao Yun'er got in touch with the county premier and his wife, they just did as Zhao Yun'er said since Zhao Yun'er asked. After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, she followed the soldiers and left. Liang Jinqiao and Mulan also hurried to the county premier's mansion according to Zhao Yun'er's instructions. Zhao Yun'er was then taken to prison. She was not in a hurry. She just hoped that nothing would happen to her mother and Mulan. Chapter 9:23. After Mulan and Liang Jinqiao brought the news to the county deputy's wife asked the county deputy and the general to guarantee that Zhao Yun had nothing to do with it. The general learned about the situation and confirmed that Zhao Yun was just a stall owner. She didn't seem to have anything to do with it. With the county deputy's request, he let Zhao Yun go. When they went out, the county deputy's wife met them. Zhao Yun hadn't seen Zhao Yun and Lan Xian for a while. It wasn't that she didn't want to see them, but she was very busy these days. Besides, she didn't want to bother the county deputy's wife, so she didn't go to the county deputy's mansion. Seeing Zhao Yun the county deputy's wife was very enthusiastic. She greeted Zhao Yun with enthusiasm. "Miss Yun Zhao Yun smiled politely to the county deputy's wife and greeted her, "Madam. Get in the carriage quickly. Your mother is in my mansion. I'll take you there," the county deputy's wife said gently. Zhao Yun nodded and got in the carriage of the county deputy's wife. Lan Xian was the most excited one. When he saw Zhao Yun Lan Xian hid behind the county deputy's wife shyly and secretly looked at Zhao Yun It seemed that he wanted to talk to Zhao Yun but he was too shy to talk to Zhao Yun Zhao Yun looked at Lan Xian and felt that this boy was very cute. It seemed that Lan Xian noticed that Zhao Yun also looked at him. His face flushed quickly. The county deputy's wife said to Zhao Yun with a smile, "Yun Xian often talks about you. He wants to know when you will come. I didn't see you until today." Lan Xian, who was standing behind the county deputy's wife, blushed. "Mom," he murmured to the county deputy's wife. Child, are you shy now? Why aren't you shy when you talk about it at home?" "Mom." Lan Xian lowered his head and looked away helplessly. The corners of Zhao Yun's mouth curled up into a big smile. It was the first time for Zhao Yun to see such a shy little boy. If the deputy county magistrate's wife was not here, Zhao Yun would like to tease him. "Xian why aren't you saying anything? You are a man, what are you shy about?" The county deputy's wife whispered in Lan Xian's ear. Lan Xian's face was still slightly red, but he couldn't help but ask Zhao Yun "Big sister Yun why didn't you come to see Xian after you left last time? Don't you miss Xian Lan Xian's tone was a little angry and complaining. Zhao Yun recalled how the child was reluctant to part with her when she left. She felt a little guilty. Therefore, she said to Lan Xian, "Big sister was a little late at home, so she didn't come." These words made Zhao Yun feel a little guilty. In fact, no matter how busy she was, as long as she wanted to make time, it was fine. It was just that she didn't come. Lan Xian's eyes were still gloomy, and he seemed to be very disappointed. He murmured, "Yeah, big sister has her own things to deal with. She definitely won't think of me." Zhao Yun didn't know how to comfort the child. It was her fault after all. She could only reply to Lan Xian, "Okay. I promise I will come to see you once a month in the future, unless I really can't." Chapter 9:24. "No, I won't lie to you." Lan Xian nodded happily and thought that he would trust Zhao Yun again. He hoped that Zhao Yun wouldn't lie to him. The deputy county magistrate's wife looked at them and found that her son really loved Zhao Yun very much. Lan Xian didn't even care about his mother as much as he did about her. Thinking of this, the deputy county magistrate's wife suddenly felt a little sad. When her son Xian got married and had his own family in the future, he would definitely treat his wife better than her. It was said that his son would forget his mother after he got married. It was indeed true. After chatting with Lan Xian for a while, Zhao Yun noticed that the deputy county magistrate's wife seemed a little unhappy, so she began to chat with her again. "Madam, thank you so much this time. Otherwise, I don't know what to do." The deputy county magistrate's wife smiled. Miss Yun, you're too polite. You saved my son Xian, so you're my family's benefactor. It's just a small matter. Compared with what you've done, it's nothing. Yun, if you have any trouble in the future, please don't hesitate to tell me. Don't be so polite. Seeing that the deputy county magistrate's wife was so sincere, Zhao Yun also showed a warm smile. In fact, the deputy county magistrate's wife had helped them to get back 20 taels of silver. This time, she helped them to get her out, so she didn't have to suffer. Zhao Yun felt that the deputy county magistrate's wife's family had already paid off the debt. If she really had any trouble in the future, unless she had no choice, Zhao Yun would never get it back. Lan Xian chimed in from the side, "Sister, you'd better ask my parents for help. That way, I'll be able to see you more often." After Lan Xian said that, Zhao Yun and the deputy county magistrate's wife both laughed. "Yun, did you hear that? My son Xian also said the same thing." Along the way, they chatted casually. Soon, the horse carriage arrived at the county magistrate's residence. Upon seeing Zhao Yun, Liang Jinqiao and Mulan went forward excitedly. She was originally worried that something might have happened to Zhao Yun. Now that she saw that Zhao Yun had returned safely, she finally breathed a sigh of relief. The deputy county magistrate's wife wanted them to have dinner together, but Zhao Yun politely refused. They had already wasted quite a bit of time. If they were to return any later, their families would probably be hungry and anxious again. Fortunately, he was fine. If something had happened, he would probably have to spend the next few days here. On the way back, Mulan sighed, Yun, fortunately, you know the wife of the deputy magistrate. Otherwise, what should we do? Zhao Yun nodded. Yeah, I'm guessing that even if they let me go, there will still be people watching me in secret to make sure that Yili has nothing to do with me. We don't know where Yili is, do we? Yun, anyway, we really have nothing to do with Yili. You don't have to worry about it. Mulan comforted her. Mulan was right. It was just that Mulan was still not clear about the situation. She really had nothing to do with Yili. However, if Yili knew where she lived, would he suddenly appear and go to her house to look for her? If so, it would be troublesome. This time, if there was someone watching them in secret and they saw that Yili went to look for her, they would definitely know where Yili was. Chapter 925. Zhao Yun was hoping that Yili wouldn't go crazy and come to her place to look for her. On the way back, Zhao Yun was a little uneasy. When they arrived at the village, they saw a good thing. The villagers gathered together, and it was very lively. The incident happened in front of Old Chen's house. Many villagers who liked to watch the fun gathered around and chattered non-stop. In the courtyard of Old Chen's house, Old Man Chen and Old Lady Chen were in the courtyard. Old Man Chen's face was as dark as the bottom of a pot. Old Lady Chen sadly wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes, looking very pitiful. Cripple Chen stood aside without saying a word, looking coldly at a woman who was lying on the ground with disheveled clothes. This woman was Old Chen's daughter-in-law, Zhang Chuier. Old Man Chen sighed deeply and said, "What sin did our Old Chen's family commit? Why does God treat us like this?" Old Lady Chen sobbed at the side, "Our family has been kind to others for so many years, and we have never done anything wrong. Why does this kind of thing happen to our family? It's really a sin, a sin." Old Man Chen said and fiercely poked his walking stick. He was so angry that he didn't know what to say. No matter what he said, it was useless. He realized that words were starting to pale in comparison. The surrounding people chattered and discussed. This Old Chen's daughter-in-law is really inhumane. How can she do such a thing? Sai, what can we do? Isn't she just bullying old Chen's family? This Zhang Chui'er's conscience is really eaten by a dog. Old Chen's family is so good to her and dotes on her like she's a treasure. It's fine if she flaunts her power at home, but how can she do such a thing? That's why I say that her conscience is eaten by a dog. Since she's married to Cripple Chin, she should live a good life with him. What is she doing now? Maybe it's because Cripple Chin can't satisfy her in bed. But she can't do this. A woman from a good family should not go out to seduce men. She had never seen such a slutty woman. If she wanted men so much, she might as well go to the brothel and serve them. Not only am I happy, but I can also make money. That's right. This kind of slut is suitable to be in a brothel. She's really shameless. The villagers were chattering. Although they were all talking about Zhang Chui, old Chen's family still felt uncomfortable when they heard it. After all, the Chin family was the one who had lost face. As the saying goes, don't wash your dirty linen in public, not to mention such a big scandal. The most embarrassed one was Cripple Chin. His woman had cheated on him, and the men in the village would definitely laugh at him. The reason why a woman would hook up with another man must be because the man was not good enough. And it was most likely because of what happened in bed. Cripple Chin looked at Zhang Chui'er with even colder eyes. He thought he treated his wife well, but what happened to her? Yet, Zhang Chui'er treated him like this. Any normal man would not be able to tolerate this kind of thing. Although he was a cripple and it was normal for his wife to look down on him, she couldn't fool around with another man behind his back, right? This was a great humiliation to his dignity. Chapter 9:26. Old Man Chin cleared his throat and said to Lame Chin, "Son, this is your wife. Tell me what you should do." Lame Chin felt that there was something stuck in his chest, and he couldn't say anything. Seeing Lame Chin remain silent, Zhang Chui'er felt a glimmer of hope. She crawled to Lame Chin and said to him, "Husband, I'm pregnant with your baby. You have to think about the baby." Zhang Chui'er began to cry miserably. In ancient times, the punishment for a woman was quite severe. As long as the husband's family agreed, even if he drowned a woman in a pond, the government wouldn't pursue the matter. The reason why Zhang Chui'er was so scared was that she was afraid that Lame Chin would drown her as soon as he opened his mouth. She was still so young, and she hadn't lived a good life yet. How could she be willing to die so early? Before Lame Chin could say anything, the surrounding people began to mock Zhang Chui'er. How dare she say it's a child? I think the child is probably born with an adulterer. It's not Lame Chen's. Exactly. It must be born with an adulterer. Zhang Chui'er has been married to old Chin for so many years, but she's never been pregnant. Now she's pregnant after sleeping with a man. Who would believe that the child is Lame Chen's? Anyway, I don't believe it. I don't believe it either. It's obvious that the child isn't Lame Chen's. Sigh. Luckily, Mrs. Nian and the others went up the mountain and saw it. If they didn't, old Chen's family would be kept in the dark for a long time. Exactly. If Zhang Chui'er gave birth in the future, old Chen's family would still treat the child as their own. They wouldn't know that Zhang Chui'er was raising someone else's child. Luckily, God is on her side. Otherwise, Zhang Chui'er would have treated old Chen's family as fools. That's right. Sigh. I don't know what old Chen's family will do now. Anyway, if my wife did such a thing, I would definitely drown her in the pond. It's disgusting to keep such a bitch alive. Exactly. Such a bitch should be drowned in the pond. Old Chen's family members could hear the villagers' discussion. Father Chen felt stifled just thinking about it. When he found out that his daughter-in-law was pregnant, he thought that the Chen family would have an heir. He was really happy. He even bought sweets and spread them around the village. Now that he looked at it, what he had done before was so ironic. She reckoned that everyone in the village was laughing at her right now. Crippled Chin listened to the villager's words. He thought about it and realized that the child might not be his. The possibility of it not being his was very high. After being married for so many years, Zhang Chui's stomach did not show any signs of pregnancy. Most likely, it was because she or Zhang Chui could not bear a child. Now that Zhang Chui had an affair with another man and got pregnant, the man who was infertile was him. Crippled Chin thought that even if he didn't want to have a child, he couldn't allow his wife to be pregnant with another man's child. Now that he was here to take over the business, he even had to raise another man's child. Crippled Chin said coldly to Zhang Chui, who was on the ground. You know very well who the child in your stomach belongs to. I've treated you well for so many years. Why did you do such a thing and betray me? Zhang Chui cried even more pitifully. She pulled the corner of Crippled Chen's clothes. Husband, the child in my stomach might be yours. What if it's yours? Chapter 9:27. Crippled Chin sneered. He felt that he was a joke at this moment. Did she really think that he was a fool? What if? How could there be so many what if? This child was definitely not his. Although he didn't think that the child was his, the truth was right in front of him. Crippled Chin had an indescribable feeling, but it was more of sorrow. Seeing the woman that he used to love doing such a thing behind his back, it would be a lie if he said that he wasn't heartbroken. Zhang Chui was also frightened by Crippled Chen's cry. She called out weakly, "Husband." Crippled Chin coldly pushed Zhang Chui away. Don't call me husband anymore. You don't think of me as your husband at all. If that's the case, why are you still calling me that? Husband. Zhang Chui looked at Crippled Chin anxiously. If Crippled Chin couldn't forgive her, then she could only drown in the pond. Thinking about drowning in the pond and dying, Zhang Chui trembled for a moment. The surrounding villagers were originally worried that Crippled Chin was stupid and would really forgive Zhang Chui. They didn't expect Zhang Chui to be so shameless that she would beg Crippled Chin like this. Such a shameless person was rare. Everyone could tell whether the child was Crippled Chen's child or not. Only a fool would believe Zhang Chui's words. Unfortunately, this was old Chen's family matter. As neighbors, they couldn't interfere too much. In the end, they still had to see how old Chen's family would punish her. Zhang Chui, our relationship as husband and wife ends here today. Crippled Chin said coldly. Zhang Chui, cried even louder. Husband, you can't do this to me. I promise that if you forgive me this time, I will live a good life with you in the future. Husband, we've been together for a few years. There is a relationship between husband and wife. Are you so cruel that you don't want me anymore? Husband, Zhang Chui shouted at the top of her lungs. She cried pitifully with snot and tears. However, the surrounding people didn't have a trace of sympathy for Zhang Chui. In their eyes, Zhang Chui was just pretending. If he really had a conscience, he wouldn't have allowed Crippled Chin to hook up with other men. Seeing that Crippled Chin did not utter a word, it seemed that he had listened to Zhang Chui's words. The onlookers became anxious and hurriedly advised, Brother Chin, don't listen to this woman's nonsense. She's just fooling you now, afraid that she'll drown. That's right. If she didn't know the consequences, would she admit her mistake so quickly? It's said that dogs can't change their habits. This B***TCH must be the same. Brother Chin, even if this daughter-in-law is gone, you can still find a matchmaker to marry another one. Your old Chin family's conditions aren't that bad. At the very least, you can buy a daughter-in-law back home. She's much better than this bitch. That's right. Brother Chin, the people around him were only trying to persuade him because of Cripple Chin. Apart from the fact that they were here to watch the show, most of the villagers had some conscience. How could they tolerate someone like Zhang Chui, or bullying the honest people of the Chin family? Zhang Chui gritted her teeth when she heard the villagers' words. If someone else had tried to sow discord between her and Cripple Chin like this in the past, she would have probably used a kitchen knife to chop that person up. Chapter 928. Now, she could only look at Cripple Chin and hope that he would forgive her if he did something stupid again. Cripple Chin remained silent. His heart softened for a moment, but the villager's persuasion made him harden his heart again. If he really forgave Zhang Chui today, it would not only be letting down his parents, but he would also become the biggest joke in the village. Anyway, he would not be able to live in the future. Zhang Chui, that be *tch, must be punished. Seeing that Cripple Chin did not speak, Father Chin stood up and said to Cripple Chin, "Son, our Chin family can't have such a daughter-in-law. We can't have her." "Father, I know. I didn't say I wanted her." Cripple Chin replied. "Sigh, this is a sin." Father Chin said and coughed a few times. Cripple Chin quickly patted Father Chin's back. "Father, how are you? Are you okay?" Cripple Chin waved his hand. "I'm fine. I'm just angry. I won't die." "Father," Cripple Chin looked at his father with heartache. He felt that he had let down his parents. His mother stood to the side, wiping her tears. Even Cripple Chin couldn't say anything to comfort her. His heart was also very uncomfortable, but who could comfort him? "Father. How is Chui? You deal with her. I'll listen to you," Cripple Chin said. The villagers on the side began to persuade, "Father Chin, this Zhang Chui is too much. I think your family should just drown her in the pond." "Yes, drown her. This be *tch should be drowned." "Father Chin, don't be soft-hearted. If she's drowned, we should all help her. Don't let a married woman bully our Shui Lan villagers." "Yes, yes, yes. We, the people of Shui Lan village, are not easy to bully." Those who wanted to drown her were mostly women. Normally, they did not like Zhang Chui. Now that they had the chance, they would definitely torture her to death. Many people who liked to watch the fun also echoed in the middle. "Drown her, drown her." There were also people who felt that the punishment was too severe. They stood up and said, "Sigh, although Zhang Chui went too far, it's still a human life. Isn't it too severe a punishment to drown her in the pond?" "That's right. After all, it's a human life. Everyone makes mistakes. Just teach him a lesson. It's not good to kill him. What's wrong with that? This bitch has done such a shameful thing. Does she still have the nerve to continue living? Anyway, if it were me, I wouldn't have the face to continue living. As for this *tch, it's hard to say if she has the face to continue living. Maybe he's thick-skinned enough to not feel embarrassed. Even so, we can't let him harm others. Sigh, let's leave the punishment to Old Man Chin. It's hard for us outsiders to decide. Let's see what Old Man Chin has to say." The villagers' gazes fell on Old Man Chin. Old Man Chin pondered silently for a moment. In the end, he wasn't that ruthless. He looked at Zhang Chui, who was lying on the ground and looking at him pitifully. For so many years, he had treated this daughter-in-law of his as his own daughter and loved her dearly. Old Man Chin sighed slightly and said to Lame Chin, "Then break her legs and send her back to her parents' home." This punishment was not light. In the future, Zhang Chui would lie on the bed with half of her body paralyzed. Her days would be very miserable. Chapter 929. Zhang Cui panicked when she heard that he was going to break her legs. She quickly begged Old Man Qin. "Dad, I beg you. Let me go. You can't break my legs. If I can't walk, how am I going to live the rest of my life? Dad, don't be so cruel. I'm still your wife, Dad." Old Man Qin stared coldly at Zhang Cui on the ground. "Cui, you know what's worse. Breaking your legs or drowning in the pond. If you're not satisfied with my method, then you can drown in the pond." Zhang Cui shut her mouth when she heard Old Man Chen's words. She wasn't a fool, but compared to losing her life was definitely more important. As the saying goes, a bad life is better than a good death. If her legs weren't broken, or if they were healed after she went back, she might be able to walk again. "Son, do you want to do it, or should I?" Old Man Qin asked. Cripple Qin said. "Dad, let me do it." "Oh, okay. You do it," Cripple Qin said. He took a thick wooden stick and walked in front of Zhang Cui. The onlooking villagers helped and held Zhang Cui in place. Cripple Qin picked up the wooden stick and began to hit Zhang Cui's legs. Miserable screams came from Old Man Chen's courtyard. Some villagers didn't dare to watch the bloody scene and quickly covered their ears and looked away. Some of them felt that Zhang Cui deserved such a punishment. So, they became more and more engrossed in the story. Zhao Yun couldn't stand the miserable screams, and Liang Jinchao couldn't stand it either. Liang Jinchao quickly said to Zhao Yun, Yun, let's go back quickly. This sound is really scary." Zhao Yun curled her lips. "Okay, Mom. Let's go." Since she already knew Zhang Cui's fate, Zhao Yun felt that there was no point in staying here to watch the show. When she went back, she had to hurry and cook, lest the men at home starve. It was not a coincidence that Zhang Cui was caught today. It was Zhao Yun's arrangement. He couldn't stand old Chen's family being kept in the dark by Zhang Cui. It was good that this B***TCH's shady business was exposed. The earlier the Qin family knew about this, the earlier they would kick Zhang Cui this scourge, out of the family so that Zhang Cui wouldn't bully them. As for this method, it was quite simple. Just like before, he asked Mu Lianfeng to scare Zhang Cui's adulterer, so that he would ask Zhang Cui to have sex with him. Then, he asked Mrs. Nian to bring a few women to coincidentally bump into them. Naturally, this matter was exposed. Thinking about her plan, Zhao Yun felt a burst of joy in her heart. If the B***TCH didn't get punished by the heavens, then she would be the one to do it. On the way, Liang Jinchao could not help but sigh. Sigh, Cui is really too much. The Qin family has always treated her well. How could she do such a thing? She was living such a good life, but now she has ended up like this. Zhao Yun forced a smile. Mom, some people don't have a conscience. They don't know how to cherish their fortune. Sigh, you're right. People should know how to cherish things. After all, it's not easy to have someone who treats you well. Don't end up in the most miserable state when everyone turns against you. Zhao Yun took a deep look at her cheap mother. She didn't expect Liang Jinchao to be able to say something like this. Chapter 930. It's nothing. Zhao Yun replied with a smile. It's nothing. Why are you looking at me like that? Seeing that Liang Jinchao was conflicted, Zhao Yun smiled even more brightly. Mother, I just think that what you said just now makes a lot of sense. Mother, I'm just lamenting. I'm not someone who likes to reason. I know, mother. All right, let's hurry back. The two of them walked in the direction of old Zhao's house together. When they arrived at old Zhao's house, Zhao Wenhuo was already pacing around anxiously in the courtyard of old Zhao's house. When he saw that Liang Jinqiao and Zhao Yun had finally returned, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. He hurried forward and said to Zhao Yun, and Liang Jinqiao, "Hey, why are you only back now? I'm so worried. If you didn't come back, I would probably have gone to Yang City to look for you." Seeing that Zhao Wenhuo was so anxious, Zhao Yun explained, "Father, something happened to us, so we were delayed. Now that we're back, you don't have to worry." Something happened. What happened? Zhao Wenhua asked curiously. Just as Liang Jinqiao was about to explain, Zhao Yun pulled him back. "Father, it's not a big deal." Zhao Yun was afraid that Zhao Wenhua would also be worried if she said it out loud. Zhao Wenhua nodded. That's good, that's good. We're all waiting for you." Father, let eldest uncle and second uncle continue to wait for a while. Mother and I will go and cook. It will be ready soon." Zhao Wenhua nodded. Okay. Zhao Yun and Liang Jinqiao unloaded the things from the carriage and went into the kitchen. Zhao Ping walked to Liang Jinqiao angrily and complained to Liang Jinqiao. "Mother, why did you only come back now? I'm starving to death. Big brother Yuan is also starving to death. It doesn't matter if I starve to death, but don't let big brother Yuan starve." When Zhao Yun heard Zhao Ping's words, she was so angry that she almost vomited blood. She almost got into an accident today and might not even be able to return home. But Zhao Ping has said something like that. Zhao Yun had rarely seen such a selfish and eccentric person who only cared about her and Qin Yuan. Liang Jinqiao frowned and said to Zhao Pinger, "Didn't I tell you that I have something to do today? If I could come back earlier, would Mother and Yun'er want to stay outside?" "Mother. But you can't let big brother Yuan starve. He's already so skinny. If he starves, he'll be even skinnier." Liang Jinqiao sighed. She really did not know what to say about her daughter. "Pinger, don't make a fuss in front of me. The food will be ready in a while. You guys wait a little longer. Just wait a little longer." Zhao Ping pursed her lips. "Okay then, Mother. You have to hurry up." "Got it, Pinger. Hurry up and leave." Liang Jinqiao's tone revealed some impatience and disdain. However, Zhao Ping was still too stupid and did not notice. After Zhao Ping left, Liang Jinqiao sighed. Now, as a mother, she was starting to despise her own daughter and thought that the sooner Zhao Ping was married off, the better. Zhao Ping ran over to Qin Yuan again and asked Qin Yuan eagerly, "Big brother Yuan, are you hungry? What do you think?" Qin Yuan rolled his eyes at Zhao Ping. He really could not be bothered with this idiot Zhao Ping. However, Zhao Ping just liked to stick close to him. Chapter 931. Got it. Qin Yuan replied impatiently. At this moment, he was indeed starting to grumble from hunger, and his stomach was growling non-stop. The reason why he was so hungry was not because his stomach was big and he could eat a lot. It was because he knew that he would definitely have good food for lunch if he helped out at Zhao Yun's house today. Not only could he eat a lot, but he could also eat well. Therefore, he did not eat breakfast. This way, he could save some food for his family. However, when he came to Zhao Yun's house, he went to help out on the land. Although he did not really do much work, he was still busy for a while. Once he started working, he had to use his strength. Once he used his strength, it was easier to get hungry. Therefore, after working for an entire morning, he was so hungry that he was grumbling. At this moment, he only felt that his stomach was very empty and very uncomfortable. He thought that after working for an entire morning, he would be able to eat delicious food when he came back. However, who knew that he would not even see a shadow of a person when he came back, let alone food. After waiting for a long time, he did not see Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao. Just when he thought that he would not be able to eat lunch, Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao finally came back. It was good that they were back. He just had to wait a little longer. The other men were also very hungry. Su Yukai and Guo Guizhen did not say anything. Who did not have an emergency in their family? At most, they would just wait a little longer. However, Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui started to complain. Sigh, we worked so hard to come back, but in the end, we can't even eat a hot meal. Sigh, this is so annoying. Zhao Wenhua frowned. Yun Er's eldest uncle and second uncle. Yun Er and Liang Jinxiao did not deliberately not come back. Something happened, that's true, but we are still hungry. Brother-in-law, is there nothing else in your house to fill our stomachs? This, Zhao Wenhua thought about it and really did not have anything. Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were a little disappointed. They originally thought that Zhao Wenhua would take out something good, but it turned out that there was nothing. Brother-in-law, Ping is about to get married. It won't be long before she gets married. You have to buy things like sunflower seeds, peanuts, candies, and so on to keep them at home. When the time comes for the banquet, you don't have to buy all these things together. When the time comes, there will be a lot of things to do during the banquet. We won't be able to afford so many things in such a short time. It's better to buy everything in advance. Zhao Wenhua listened and noted it. Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui were right. Since they had to buy these things anyway, they might as well buy them in advance and keep them at home. Zhao Pinger hurriedly replied, "Yes, father. You have to buy these things well. My banquet must be a boisterous affair." "Must. You." "Yes, father, I knew you were the best." When Liang Jinshan and Liang Jinhui heard this, they were overjoyed. If they could buy those things back, they would have a chance to eat some. To the villagers, these snacks were rare things. Not only did women like to eat them, but men also liked to eat them. Zhao Yun cooked a dish and hurriedly brought it to the table. The rest of the dishes were also cooked and brought over. Liang Jinxiao sighed as he cooked. Sigh. Ping is really too much. Zhao Yun asked Liang Jinxiao about Zhao Ping being immature and opening her mouth to ask for food the moment she came back. Chapter 932. Mother, maybe Sister Ping doesn't know how to. Zhao Yun replied weakly. Sigh, what's going to happen to this girl in the future? She's such a big girl, she can't not know how to cook. Won't she be despised if she goes to other people's house? Liang Jinxiao muttered again. Hearing Liang Xiaojin's words, Zhao Yun couldn't help but want to laugh. Zhao Ping had always been lazy. Shouldn't her mother have known? If Ping could be more tolerant, we'd probably be eating by now. Sigh, there's someone to take care of the chores at home, but now there's no one to take care of it. Liang Jinxiao's words revealed a lot of helplessness. Zhao Yun knew that Liang Jinxiao was just complaining in front of her. Zhao Ping was really annoying. Zhao Yun never dreamed of relying on Zhao Ping to do things. Even if Zhao Ping was willing to do it, she might not necessarily let her. It wasn't that she didn't know what that woman was capable of. The food she made was probably worse than Pig's food. Mother, it's good that Sister Ping doesn't cook. Father, eldest uncle, and second uncle probably won't want to eat it. Liang Jinchao sighed again. Well, that's true. It's good that Sister Ping went to her in-laws' house. With her in-laws' guidance, she definitely won't be as lazy as she is at home. Sigh, I hope, as long as the family Qin doesn't drive her back. After listening to Liang Jinxiao's words, Xiao Yun felt that she seemed to have changed a little during this period. If it were in the past, Liang Jinxiao would definitely not have such a feeling. Xiao Yun and Liang Jinxiao sped up and casually prepared a few dishes. Lunch was soon ready. After lunch, Xiao Yun went back from the third house. The men rested for a while and then went to the foundation. Not long after Xiao Yun went back, Mulan came over. The two of them chatted as they prepared breakfast. Mulan couldn't help but sigh. I feel that Mu Hin has been strange these 2 days. She feels a little uneasy. When I talk to her often, she can't hear me. It's as if she's thinking about something. Did something happen? Xiao Yun asked with concern. Mulan shook her head. I don't know. He didn't say much when I asked him. Then, Mulan sighed. This lass has always been like this. She likes to keep everything to herself and doesn't like to tell others. Since she doesn't want to talk, then there's nothing you can do. Sister-in-law Mulan, didn't you observe? Mulan shook her head. I have so many things to do every day. How can I have the time to observe her? Sigh, this girl. Alright, Sister Mulan, it shouldn't be a big deal. Otherwise, she would definitely tell you. Yes, yes. Mulan nodded, but she was still worried. The truth was similar to what Xiao Yun said. It was not a big deal, but it was not a small matter either. In the past few days, Zhu Dainiu showed concern for Mu Hin every 2 to 3 days. His concern made Mu Hin a little nervous. If it was Zhu Sanlu, it would be fine. If she was perverted, Mu Hin could say it out loud. She would ask her brother-in-law to teach Zhu Sanlu a lesson. However, in the face of Zhu Dainiu's concern, Mu Hin felt that it was not appropriate for her to say it. From time to time, Zhu Dainiu would ask about her well-being, and then he would come to her side. He was very close to her, but he did not touch her. This feeling made her hate it even more. Chapter 933. Then she realized that something was amiss. Why was Zhu Dainiu even more attentive than her own daughter-in-law? They were both fetching water, but Madame Qi couldn't get Zhu Dainiu to help her. However, Zhu Dainiu was attentive enough to help her carry the water. He even kept praising her beauty by her ear. There was no point in doing this. How could he do such things and say such things? Because of this, Madame Qi would stare at her with jealousy every time she saw Zhu Dainiu fawning over her. Then she would hit and scold her, calling her a seductive vixen. Her elder sister and brother-in-law naturally didn't know about Madame Qi's insults, and Mu Hin didn't want to talk about it either. After all, Zhu Dainiu was different from Zhu Sanlu. Mu Hin was afraid, so her elder sister and brother-in-law fought with Zhu Dainiu because of her. Wasn't that equivalent to fighting with the entire family Zhu? The moment she arrived, the entire Zhu family was in a state of chaos. If word got out, she would be ridiculed to death. As long as Zhu Dainiu didn't do anything inappropriate to her, Mu Hin felt that she could just muddle along. As for Zhu Dainiu, she didn't have any feelings for Zhu Dainiu at all. Naturally, she wouldn't respond to his attentiveness. Of course, she didn't want to ruin his family either. It was normal for Madame Qi to be jealous and scold her. Most women would get angry. Sigh. Mulan sighed again. Xiao Yun couldn't help but ask, Sister-in-law Mu Hin, what's wrong with you? Actually, it's nothing much. I'm just thinking about when the new house will be ready so that I can move in sooner. It's inconvenient for such a big family to be squeezed into one house. Zhao Yun understood what Mulan meant and couldn't help but tease her. Sister-in-law Mulan, can I tell you that you look like you're not satisfied with what you want right now? Mulan was stunned. No. I don't think so. Sister-in-law Mulan, is it because you haven't had sex with Brother Arrow for a long time after Mu Hin came here? This question made Mulan blush, but Mulan didn't deny it. It's been a few days. Arrow and the others were busy working on the land. They were very busy, so they went to bed early when they came back. He would have fallen asleep before Mu Hin fell asleep. How would he have the chance to do that? Hearing Mulan's words, Zhao Yun couldn't help but smile. Mulan's words clearly revealed the appearance of a woman who was not satisfied in a certain aspect. She had underestimated Mulan's needs in certain areas, however, it was understandable. In their 20s, this was the time when they were young and energetic. Their hormones were also exuberant. In addition, Mulan often received Zhu Arrow's nourishment before. Now that it was suddenly cut off, Zhao Yun joked. Sister-in-law Mulan, do you want me to find you a strong man to serve you? Mulan quickly waved her hand. No need. Yun aren't you harming me by doing this? Zhang Cui was pitiful enough today. I don't want to end up like her. I have Arrow, and that's enough. It's okay if I don't do that. Mulan, look at how nervous you are. I won't really find you a strong man. Zhao Yun laughed even louder. I know. Yun at this moment, Sen suddenly ran over and anxiously said to Zhao Yun, Daodu's mother, something happened to Daodu. Zhao Yun's heart suddenly tightened. She quickly asked, what happened to Daodu? Chapter 934. Zhao Yun's mind went blank for a moment, then she hurriedly followed San. Daodu fell into the pond. How did he fall into the pond? She had told Daodu to be careful at the water's edge. Zhao Yun was extremely anxious. She prayed in her heart that nothing would happen to Daodu. Mu Lianfeng had just died. If something happened to Daodu now, she didn't know what to do. Zhao Yun ran in a hurry. Her feet were like the wind, and even Mulan couldn't catch up with her. When she reached the pond, Zhao Yun found that Daodu had already been rescued, but his face was ashen. Zhao Ping and Qin Yuan were standing beside him, as well as Lu Lei, who was dripping wet. From the looks of it, Lu Lei had gone into the river to pull Daodu out of the water. Zhao Yun looked at Lu Lei gratefully. Brother Lu, thank you. Lu Lei looked at Zhao Yun apologetically. Yun, it's all my fault. I didn't have time to save Daodu. Seeing Daodu's situation, it wasn't optimistic. If they were a step earlier, Daodu would probably still be fine. They might not be able to save him now. Brother Lei, thank you so much. You don't have to blame yourself. Zhao Yun's lips trembled as she spoke. Then, she began to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on Daodu, who was on the ground. Looking at the little person on the ground, Zhao Yun's heart tightened. He didn't know if mouth-to-mouth resuscitation would work, but he didn't have any other methods. The people who came to see what was going on kept hiding. They were all shouting that Daodu had fallen into the water and drowned. The deaths of 10 people in the village wasn't a small matter, so the curious villagers kept running over to see what was going on. Zhao Ping watched from the side and said coldly, this little bastard will definitely die today. Zhao Ping's voice wasn't loud, so Zhao Yun didn't hear it. If she heard Zhao Ping say that, Zhao Yun would definitely go up and slap her a few times. As for Daodu, although Zhao Ping was her aunt, Zhao Ping didn't think much of it. She didn't think that Daodu was her family. Seeing Daodu like this, as well as Zhao Yun's anxious appearance, he was somewhat gloating. Thinking that it must be God dealing with Zhao Yun and Zhao Yun this little bastard. Daodu's words as SSSS Zhao. How could her own sister's child say something like this? Did she have any compassion at all? Actually, when Daodu fell into the water, Zhao Ping and Qing Yuan were at the side, but they didn't help Daodu. Firstly, it was because Zhao Ping didn't want to, and secondly, Qing Yuan himself was a little scared. He wasn't very good at swimming. What if he lost his life before reaching Daodu? After a while, he saw Lu Lei come over. With a splash, he jumped into the river and rescued Daodu. But when Lu Lei came over, Daodu had been struggling in the water for a while and had eaten a lot of water in his stomach. By the time he was picked up, Daodu had already fainted and was unconscious. Qin Yuan looked at such a pitiful child and suddenly felt a little guilty. If he had jumped in time, he might have saved Daodu's life. But it was too late to think about this now. Qin Yuan snorted at Zhao Ping. It said that women are the most vicious. Zhao Ping, how can you be so cruel to your sister's son? Chapter 935. In order to salvage her image in Qin Yuan's heart, Zhao Ping stuttered and hurriedly explained, Yuan Gij, it's not what you think. I'm telling the truth. You don't know, but Daodu is Zhao Yun's little bastard with another man, Qin Yuan said coldly. If I remember correctly, Daodu is the heir apparent's child. What little bastard? Aren't you afraid that the heir apparent will come back and cut your tongue? The more Qin Yuan thought about it, the more he despised Zhao Ping. She was ugly, stupid, and vicious. Most importantly, she didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. She was just like a retard. Compared to Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping couldn't even compare to Zhao Xinhui's finger. Zhao Yun exerted all her strength to apply pressure on Daodu's chest. Lu Lei stood nervously at the side, wanting to see if Daodu could be saved. He was naturally looking forward to it, but Daodu's situation was really uncertain. The surrounding villagers all felt that Daodu couldn't be saved. Looking at Daodu's complexion, they knew that he had choked on a lot of water. Previously, the other children in the village were in the same situation as Daodu, but that child couldn't be saved in the end. Old Zhao's family also rushed over after hearing the news. Zhao Yun was extremely anxious, but she forced herself to calm down. She couldn't be anxious. If she was anxious, there might really be no way to save Daodu. Zhao Yun worked for a while. Finally, Daodu coughed violently and spat out all the water in his stomach. Seeing that Daodu was slowly waking up, Zhao Yun's heart finally settled down. Daodu, are you okay? Daodu? Zhao Yun asked anxiously. Mother. Daodu is fine, he's just a little uncomfortable. Daodu said as he coughed violently. It's good that you're fine. Zhao Yun touched Daodu's little face. Because of fear, her hands were still trembling non-stop. Mother. Daodu thought that he wouldn't be able to see you again. Daodu's little body was trembling in Zhao Yun's arms. It looked like Daodu was also scared. Zhao Yun patted Daodu and comforted him. Daodu, don't be afraid. Mother is here. How can you not see mother's mother? Whoa. Daodu choked with sobs. It looked like Daodu was scared out of his wits. Lu Lei said from the side, take Daodu back. Give him a change of clothes and let him have a good rest. Zhao Yun agreed. The weather wasn't very hot yet, and people who fell into the water were still cold. She had to make some ginger soup later to warm up Lu Lei and Daoda's bodies. Zhao Yun was about to carry Daoda back when Lu Lei stepped forward and said, Yun let me do it. Daoda's body is wet now. If you carry him, you'll probably get wet too. Anyway, I'm soaked, so it's fine if I carry him. Zhao Yun didn't refuse and allowed Lu Lei to carry Daoda back. The surrounding villagers were stunned. They thought that Daoda couldn't be saved, but they didn't expect Zhao Yun to be so capable to save Daoda. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, who would believe it? He's already choked like that, but she still saved him. Isn't that right? So many people fell into the water and couldn't be saved. That's right, that's right. Normal people can't save him. Chapter 936. It's normal that he can't be seduced. After all, Daoda is the son of the heir. He's different from ordinary people. The son of the heir is the most common person in the family. He's not an ordinary person. Even the king of hell wouldn't dare to seduce a little heir. How magical! Daoda is blessed by the heavens. The villagers chattered and talked about it, making it sound like it was a miracle. Zhao Yun didn't have such thoughts. Hearing the villagers' discussion, she hurriedly returned to her house with Lu Lei. After Lu Lei put Daoda down, Zhao Yun hurriedly changed Daoda's clothes. She couldn't let Daoda catch a cold. Brother Lei, thank you so much for today. If it weren't for you, Daoda would probably really. Zhao Yun didn't dare to finish her sentence. By the time she rushed over, it would definitely be too late. Lu Lei smiled and said, Yun you don't have to be so polite with me. I just happened to pass by. Speaking of which, Daoda's luck is still good. Brother Lei, go back and change your clothes first. Don't catch a cold too. I'll send the ginger soup over to you later. Lu Lei waved his hand, no need, Yun There's no need to trouble yourself. Zhao Yun insisted, Brother Lei, it's only right. Don't say that there's no need. You're soaked in so much water. You must be cold. It's better to drink some ginger soup. It can warm your body. At least you won't catch a cold. After all, Lu Lei's body was so wet because he was saving Daoda. If Lu Lei was sick, she would definitely feel bad. Seeing Zhao Yun's insistence, Lu Lei could only nod. All right then. Yun I'll go back and change my clothes first. Zhao Yun nodded. Zhao Yun went to the kitchen and cooked some ginger soup. She hurriedly sent it over to Daoda. Daoda was curled up in his bed, trembling violently. Come, Daoda, have some ginger soup. Zhao Yun called out. Daoda came over obediently. Okay, mother. Daoda held the bowl and drank carefully. Zhao Yun warned Daoda not to go to the river to play in the future. If such a thing happened, he might not be so lucky next time. When Daoda heard that Zhao Yun would not be able to go to the river to play in the future, his expression became a little desolate. Zhao Yun stroked Daoda's head. Mother can find something better for you. Daoda looked up at Zhao Yun. Mother, is that true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? When he heard Zhao Yun's words, a smile appeared on Daoda's little face. After a while, Liang Jinqiao rushed over and asked about Daoda's situation. After confirming that Daoda was fine, Liang Jinqiao was relieved. When he heard the news about Daoda, Liang Jinqiao was also frightened. When he rushed to the pond, Daoda and Zhao Yun were nowhere to be seen. Only then did he know that Daoda and Zhao Yun were back. At this time, Mulan and San Er also came over. Mulan, Saner just told me that when Daodu fell into the water, your sister Pinger and your future brother-in-law were next to him. Saner asked them to save him, but they ignored him. When Mulan heard Saner tell her about this, she was simply stunned. So she immediately rushed over and told Zhao Yuner about this matter. When Zhao Yuner heard this, her eyes also sank. When Daodu fell into the water, my sister Pinger and my future brother-in-law were next to him. Zhao Yuner confirmed with Saner. Chapter 937. Saner was also very angry. She looked indignant. Zhao Yuner's brows immediately furrowed. This Zhao Pinger, did she still have any humanity left? Daodu was at least related to her by blood. How could he be so heartless as to stand by and do nothing? There was also that Qin Yuan. Zhao Pinger didn't know how to swim, so there was no need to mention that. He was a man. How could he not save her? Zhao Yuner almost vomited blood because of these two weirdos. How could there be such people? Yuner. Liang Jinchao frowned and looked at Zhao Yuner. She knew that Zhao Yuner must be very angry now. Not to mention Zhao Yuner, even she was very angry. I'll settle the score with them later. Zhao Yun said coldly. Zhao Yun thanked Saner. Saner, thank you for telling me about this. Also, thank you for informing me. Saner smiled shyly. And Yun, you're welcome. Zhao Yun asked Liang Jincha to help take care of Daodu while she prepared to deliver the ginger soup to Lu Lei. She could not wait for the ginger soup to turn cold before drinking it. By then, it would not have any effect. When Zhao Yun arrived at Lu Lei's house with the ginger soup, she saw the figure of a girl busying herself. She washed Lu Lei's clothes and put them on a bamboo pole to dry. This girl was none other than Xiao Hong. Seeing Xiao Hong's back, Zhao Yun could not help but frown. Why was this woman so attentive to strolling around Lu Lei's house? She did not know how to avoid arousing suspicion. Or perhaps she did not even think about it. After all, she was thinking about Lu Lei. If gossip spread, it would be more beneficial to her. Then she could find an excuse to marry Lu Lei. Lu Lei changed his clothes and walked out of the house. Seeing Xiao Hong's busy figure, she said, "Sorry to trouble you." Xiao Hong smiled shyly and said, "It's okay, Brother Lei Zi. Why are you being so polite with me? The clothes are done. Do you want to leave first?" Lu Lei asked carefully. This was because he knew that Zhao Yuner was coming over to give him the ginger soup. If Xiao Hong continued to stay here, she would inevitably be seen by Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner might misunderstand something. Hearing Lu Lei's sudden words, Xiao Hong thought that Lu Lei despised her, so she looked at Lu Lei sadly. "Brother Lu. Why are you in such a hurry to chase me away?" "No, nothing. I just feel that it's not good for you to stay in my house for too long," Lu Lei replied, but he felt a little guilty. "Big Brother Lu. Haven't I been coming here all this time? You didn't say that before. Why did you suddenly say that?" Lu Lei suddenly did not know what to say. He could not tell Xiao Hong that he was afraid that Zhao Yuner would misunderstand. Although it was not the first time that Zhao Yuner had misunderstood, it was indeed not good for her to misunderstand again. Lu Lei frowned and hesitated for a moment before saying, "Xiao Hong. You're a girl. It's inevitable that people will misunderstand you if you keep coming here. When people start gossiping, it's your reputation that's bad. If we're not together, I can't possibly hold you back." Xiao Hong's eyes darkened when she heard that. "But Big Brother Lu. People are already talking about us. Big Brother Lu. All this time, I thought you had accepted me. Why are you still like this now? Xiao Hong's tone sounded a little aggrieved, as if she was complaining about Lu Lei. Chapter 938. Lu Lei was stunned. He didn't expect Xiao Hong to say that. Wasn't he unable to reject her previously? Xiao Hong had clung to him so passionately that he was too embarrassed to reject her. In addition, Lu Lei couldn't bear to be too cold to her after what Xiao Hong had said to him previously. He didn't expect Xiao Hong to be the one who didn't make her attitude clear from the start. Brother Lei, everyone in the village thinks that I'm your woman. If you don't want me, who knows how they'll laugh at me? Xiao Hong said bitterly. It had to be said that Xiao Hong's acting skills were very good. When she pretended to be so pitiful, it really made one's heart ache. When Lu Lei heard Xiao Hong's words, he naturally had to take responsibility if Xiao Hong's reputation was affected. Xiao Hong. I haven't decided if I want to marry you, Brother Lu, we're not young anymore. If we drag this on, I'm afraid the villagers will laugh at me. Xiao Hong looked at Lu Lei pleadingly after she finished speaking. Lu Lei didn't know how to respond. Xiao Hong, Xiao Yun saw Lu Lei's expression and guessed that he probably didn't want to. This Xiao Hong was really interesting, it was the first time she saw such a shameless woman. Xiao Yun couldn't stand it anymore. She walked over and said sarcastically to Xiao Hong, I've seen people throw themselves at him, but this is the first time I've seen someone throw themselves at him like you. Xiao Hong didn't expect Xiao Yun to suddenly come over. Thinking that Xiao Yun heard what she said just now, Xiao Hong felt embarrassed and angry. You always come over so eagerly because you want others to talk about you and Lu Lei. This way, Lu Lei won't be able to stand the villagers' gossip, so he'll take responsibility for you. Xiao Hong, you're really good at scheming. No wonder you don't mind coming over to him every day. Xiao Yun exposed her mercilessly. Xiao Hong's face turned red from Xiao Yun's words. You. Xiao Hong gritted her teeth and glared at Xiao Yun fiercely. This B*TCH actually said that about her. This was too much. Yun'er. Lu Lei didn't expect Xiao Yun'er to suddenly come over, so he called out softly. Seeing the tension between Xiao Yun'er and Xiao Hong, Lu Lei frowned worriedly. What should I do now? He did not want any conflict between Xiao Yun'er and Xiao Hong. After all, it was because of her. People need face, trees need bark. Xiao Hong, aren't you afraid that others will laugh at you for doing this? Xiao Yun continued to ridicule. What right do you have to say that about me? Xiao Hong asked angrily. Xiao Yun shrugged. No reason. I just couldn't help but say it when I saw how despicable some people were. Brother Lei, this is ginger soup. Drink it quickly. Don't catch a cold. Xiao Yun handed the ginger soup to Lu Lei after scolding Xiao Hong. Okay. Lu Lei took it and thanked her. Xiao Hong saw that Lu Lei's gaze was much gentler when he looked at Xiao Yun'er than when he looked at her. Jealousy rose in her heart. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.